Hello everybody. Welcome to another live stream. I hope everybody is doing really well, and I hope you're all having a really good day. For everybody in Europe, I hope your day has been really good. My day is just starting. I have been awake for a little bit over an hour, which is pretty good, but I only got about 5 hours of sleep, so I'm just trying to catch up right now. Just trying to make sure I'm awake, because I'm definitely not feeling awake. Oh no, Weewin, what happened? What's with the chest pain? Like, is it heartburn chest pain or is it something more serious? And Merle, how are you feeling? I hope you're feeling better now. Like starting to feel better anyway. Today we're going to be playing the Chant. I just want to eat before we start because I haven't eaten. I woke up and I got everything ready and then I decided to switch my camera because I got really tired of this one, like turning off constantly. Like even the video that I did yesterday about the ROG Ally, you can see in the one clip I used, everything kind of flashes green for a second because the HDMI is just so dead on this. So I'm using my TikTok camera right now just to not have to worry about it unplugging constantly. Your fever went down a little bit. Wow, it's really lasted a while. Be careful, Merle. Be careful. Jeez. You almost sound like a guy. Like, trying to pretend like you know what pain really is. I get it, but like, you have no idea. But you sound pretty close, pretty close. Okay, yeah, your heart rate is within a normal range, definitely. Yeah, it's probably just stress and anxiety. Probably just stress and anxiety. Well, hopefully I can relax you a little bit. Hopefully the hairy Jesus butt hairs don't make you more stressed. So I don't know what I was gonna say. I have no idea what I was gonna say. Although I wish I could get my heart rate down to 80. Let's see what I'm at right now. Let's see what I'm at right now. I haven't been doing anything exciting. I've just been getting ready. Right now, I am sitting at, come on, Apple Watch. This is my heart rate. Hold on. That's me just sitting here doing nothing. That's my heart rate right now. Work plus surgery. Honestly, don't freak out about the surgery. Work. Yeah, there's not much you can do. Stress is work. Stress is work. Stress. There's not really much you can do about that. But try not to freak out about the surgery. You know, it'll be done and over with. It's going to make you feel better. And it's going to, although it's going to be a little bit of like a rough patch while you heal and kind of get back to normal, it's a good thing. So try to think of the positive. You're okay. You're okay. Yeah, now you wonder what yours is too. Yours probably like 150 because you're trying to prove how much of a man you are with your being sick. I'm sorry. I'm just teasing you. It's definitely because I'm thinking of both of you. We win. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. So we're gonna play the Chant, which I'm really excited to continue with. I really enjoyed it so far. I think it's been a really interesting game. It's definitely been scarier than I thought it was going to be. I keep leaning forward. It's definitely been scarier than I thought it was going to be, and I just want to continue and see what happens. I'm also just feeling lazy, and I don't want to have to worry about Minecraft and planning stuff out. So that's what we're doing today while I eat right now. Oh, crunchy. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Toast ASMR. I didn't expect it to be that crunchy. That also would add a lot of anxiety. Like if you even haven't started yet, just thinking about quitting it. Because I don't know if you guys have a term for it, but here we call it white coat syndrome, which is basically people who get really anxious when they're at the doctor's. And it's not for any particular reason. I've never been afraid of the doctor. I've never worried about the doctor. But now anytime I go to the doctor, my heart rate skyrockets. Right now it's high because obviously I just took my shower, I just got dressed, I was setting up the stream. I took my ADHD meds, but I hadn't eaten. And so like I was pushing my heart rate higher. We'll see. Well, we're gonna play a scary game. My heart rate might be high all the time anyway, but on average, my heart is sitting like between 70 and 90 all the time. So it's sitting at an okay number. 90 is still kind of high for somebody who doesn't do anything. Like for me sitting around, I shouldn't be at 90. That should be more like when I'm like up and doing stuff. But that's my heart rate when I'm sitting. It's always been that way. That's why I'm on heart meds. One of the reasons anyway. But the second I go to the doctors, my heart rate does not go below 110. And even when I'm like sitting and I'm trying to relax, like I'll go on my phone trying to like distract myself so I'll relax, I get anxious. But I don't get anxious because I'm scared of the doctor or I'm worried that like he's going to give me some bad news. It's the anxiety that my heart rate's going to be high that makes my heart rate go up, which then means I get a bad heart rate reading. So like I'm doing it to myself for the exact reason that I'm trying not to do it to myself. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm literally sitting there going, he's going to take my blood pressure and heart rate and it's going to be high. I need to relax so it's not high. Oh God, I'm not relaxing. It's going to get high. And that makes me go higher and higher until eventually it's at a high rate. And it's just so frustrating. Thankfully, my watch takes it so I can show him on my phone and be like, look, this is what it sits at average. And he's like, okay, yeah, it's obviously white coat syndrome. But you're probably having the same issue when it comes to like, I'm going to go off my meds and then it's going to be rough. And then I have to start again. And I'm going to have other side, like you're kind of driving yourself into that whirlwind of anxiety. Just try to chill. Just try to chill. I know it's easier said than done. Trust me, I know. But hopefully you can like relax while hanging out here. Hopefully. You know what I really like about this camera? It's got face smoothing and I've got it on like a low setting because you can still see like the pores and stuff. It's not like cartoon smooth, but my face looks so nice on this camera. It looks so like perfect. The other camera has it, but it doesn't really work well. This camera works really well. Oh, that reminds me. Last night we were talking about my camera and the speed of the focusing, and I was using the A5100. Let's see what this focus is like. Oh, that's so fast. Oh, that one didn't do because it's on my face. There we go. And look how fast it focuses. That's crazy. The other camera was taking like about 2 or 3 seconds. That's like instant. What's it at, Merle? What's your heart rate at? That is pretty low. But you ride a bike a lot, right? No, wait, what's your average heart rate? There we go. You do healthcare. You would know your information.
If you've ever thought, maybe I should start my own podcast.
So we've got like nobody watching. There's like 3 people on Twitch and YouTube and 0 on TikTok. Oh, it's we win Ty and Merle, the only 3 people that actually like consistently support me. Welcome back, dude. How are you doing? How's your heart rate? How's your heart rate? Yeah, I'm thinking it's because I have butt hair in my title and maybe nobody wants to like watch something that says butt hair. 70 to 90 depending on what you do. Okay. Yeah, because I know you ride a bike a lot, so your heart rate would be at a relatively low number. I mean, 64 is low, but you've been laying in bed doing nothing for a few days, right? So I'm gonna guess it's just your heart rate like really relaxing since it's not needing to work. Not butt hair Jesus. Heck yeah, with butt hair Jesus. Who doesn't want to see Jesus's butt hairs? He's gonna have it float onto our salads. Everybody, I've got Nutella, but maybe Jesus got his hands on this. Normally it would be higher when you're sick, right? But my guess is that because you're laying down and relaxing, it's lower. But yeah, like normally my heart rate's higher when I'm sick too, but I'm guessing resting would be like helping to lower it. Maybe your resting was in the 50s when you went to the gym. See, when I worked out a lot, I didn't measure my heart rate often, but it was still relatively high. Like I still sat at like 80 even when I was working out a lot. Mind you, I didn't do a crazy amount of cardio. I'm sure if I did a lot more cardio, it would go down. Because even now, it's gone down from what it used to be. Like, I used to average 110 all the time. like no matter what. And now I've gone on the meds, and at work I walk a lot, so it's gone down to like 80-ish. So I've definitely done a lot, but like I don't do a lot of cardio. Ginger Gamer, how you doing, man? How are you? But Ty, I hope you're doing okay. I hope today is what, Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday, right? Did you start them today or did you start them yesterday? I can't remember what you said. I can't remember what you said the date was that you started, but how has it been going? Have you been doing okay as far as like just the overall stress and beating yourself up in your own brain? Ginger, I hope you're doing really well. Oh, shut up. I'm just trying to like open up my TikTok because I can't tell if I'm exposed properly. Get out of here, man. I'm trying to see my live stream. There we go. How's that look? A little tiny hair overexposed, but that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I just look really pale today. I don't know why. I look really pale for some reason. That's okay though. It's okay. So 5 hours long today. You already finished today? Oh yeah, it's already 4. I'm thinking it's like 11 in the morning. It's 4 o'clock. You already finished. How are you feeling though? Outside of not knowing your grades and like the self-doubt, are you feeling okay? You see clothes. Yeah, but you don't see what's under the table. That's the thing. You don't see what's under the table. Okay, we're gonna be playing the chant. I just want to finish my toast because I haven't eaten and I'm getting kind of dizzy. Not overexposed. I'm underexposed, everybody. I'm underexposed. I'm gonna have to take off my Apple Watch. I don't want to, because if people call me, it's the only way that I know they call me. But I'm gonna have to. There's 2 fanboys having an argument on my Instagram right now, and I'm getting notifications every time they message each other, and it's driving me absolutely insane because they're both arguing about whether PlayStation or Xbox is better, like a bunch of children. The sad part is one of them isn't actually arguing. One of them's like, no, what I'm saying is like, it's about time Xbox got something. Like the players deserve better games than what Xbox is giving them. And the other goes, you don't know Xbox, you're a loser. Dude, he's literally saying like Xbox hasn't kept up, and it's good that they have Starfield and it's keeping up. You're getting upset because he's saying Xbox did a good thing. I hate fanboys. I hate them so much, everybody. I hate them so much. Fanboys are the worst thing that have ever happened to gaming. I did have them silenced and I turned them on because sometimes I would get people messaging me from companies asking for collabs on there and I wouldn't see it. 2 parts, the common part and the roll part. 6 questions common, 7 on roll. I think I got 2 right on the common. Good news is that I can make it up tomorrow. Roll is going to be rough to get 4 right. Maybe I got 4. I hope you're wrong, dude. I hope that you just like are underestimating yourself and that you did it, you know, even if it's just scraped by. I just hope you did it, man. You put in so much damn work. So much damn work. Hello, Steven. I am overexposing myself. I knew you were gonna be here, so I thought it was a good idea. Positive vibes, how you doing? How are you? A curveball you've never been tested in. Oh, I hate when that happens. Oh, dude. I hope you got it though. I hope you got it. I hope you got it. Really, like, I really hope you got it. Stop with the notifications! Ugh. And my e-girlfriend. That's actually a really important part too. Because if I didn't have notifications, I'd forget to check and then I would never answer you. Good, man. Just keep doing it, man. Keep doing it. You got it. You got it. Tomorrow it's over. And then it's all said and done and behind you. And we can go forward. I'm telling you, man, you got this. It sounds really stupid. I already didn't like accounting to begin with. That just makes it even less interesting to me. Not less interesting, less appealing to me. That makes it like guaranteed I would never want to get into any kind of accounting. And now I have a lot more respect for the guy that's going to be doing my accounting. That's okay. We went, go to sleep. You need some rest. Maybe I'm trying to think of something that would help you like just relax. I don't know. You know, depends on how like if you're feeling tense, something that I find works, and don't do this all the time because it's not good for you, but maybe take something like oh, what the hell is it called? What the hell is it called? Hold on. I'm forgetting my medical studies. Because I don't know if the proper name exists. Ibuprofen. Maybe take some ibuprofen, because it's a bit like of a muscle relaxer. It's made for when you're like sick and aches and pains and stuff, but like it's a bit of a muscle relaxer. And maybe if you have some of that, you can take a couple of those just to help kind of let your body just relax a little bit before you go to bed. I've done that the last couple of nights because I haven't been able to sleep. I've been struggling really hard. It didn't work last night, but I've been trying really hard to sleep because I'm sleeping like 3 or 4 hours and I'm waking up, and it's driving me absolutely nuts because I'm waking up for no reason. But I'm in the habit of waking up and getting up. So I wake up and then I gotta pee, and then by the time I get back from the bed to the bed, like I don't even have to pee. I wake up and I'm laying there. I'm like, well, can't sleep. But if I fall asleep, I know I'm gonna have to pee. So I should pee right now so I don't pee. Like I don't have to wake up because I have to pee. So I get up and pee. By the time I get back to bed, and remember, I work night shift, so I'm up and the sun is up. And I get back to bed, I'm wide awake, right? So I've been trying to like find a way to relax. So like last night I did Tylenol, acetaminophen, and that didn't work. The night before though, I did ibuprofen, and it really helped. That's how I got the 7.5 hours sleep. That might help you just kind of, whew. Yeah, because like the two big things between like acetaminophen and ibuprofen, like the differences, right? The acetaminophen is more like powerful towards like fevers and stuff, and ibuprofen does work for fevers, but it's a lot more towards like the swelling reaction of the body. And so like it's not meant to relax your muscles, but it has that kind of an effect. Like that's what it's supposed to do in your body to help you when you're in pain, like when you pull a muscle or whatever, right? To help kind of relax those muscles that are in pain. So if you take one when you're not in pain, the effect is not an obvious effect. Like you're not going to take it all of a sudden and be like, oh, I'm relaxed, like if you took some kind of prescription drug. But like if you take a couple of them right before bed, you tend to like, your body tends to just chill out a little bit more while you're sleeping. Just your muscles tend to not tense up, and because you're stressed out, that tends to help. I only found out, my mom told me, she's an RN, she told me about that, and I did it once when I had one of those weeks where I had been working like an excessive amount, and I was so overly tired that I couldn't sleep because I was just in so much pain from how like tense my body had been all week. And she gave me a couple of those. I took them, I went to bed, and I slept like a full 8 hours and woke up feeling so much more refreshed. It's not something you should do all the time because ibuprofen's bad for your stomach, but you know, on a day like today where you're feeling like overly stressed out, especially since yesterday you were also stressed out, maybe that'll help you kind of chill out, you know? Magnesium. I don't know what magnesium does in particular, so I can't vouch for it, but I also can't refute it. But I've never looked into magnesium, so I can't really tell you. Catch me, kid. How's it going? Welcome. That picture, you look like my brother making a silly face in that picture. That's hilarious. Is your surgery this? No, wait. You already took the Friday off before the surgery. Okay, I was gonna say, is your surgery this Friday? Like, is it that soon? Yeah. I've never really used aspirin. I remember when I was a kid, my mom was like dead set on us not touching aspirin because it's dangerous for kids, if I recall correctly. Oh, what's the other one? There's another one that you can take that's also, it's the brand name is Motrin. I know they exist in the States. They don't really sell Motrin in Canada, or at least it's not easy to get. I know they didn't sell Motrin. I don't know if they do anymore. But Motrin is one, but what's it called? What's the Motrin generic name? No, it's ibuprofen as well. No, there was a different one. There's a different one that has a different name. There's another muscle relaxant that you can get a prescription for, but you can also get over the counter, and it's the same thing, just a lower dose. But I can't remember what it's called. Alana used to take it all the time. That's another one that can help your muscles relax. It'll keep you up versus help you sleep. Okay, so magnesium's gonna keep you up. I don't want to be careful. Naproxen, Leonard, thank you. Naproxen, that's the one. Naproxen. So Robaxacet is, we're going back a few years. It's been a few years since I was in nursing school now. Robaxacet, if I remember correctly, it's acetaminophen with caffeine. Is it acetaminophen or Tylenol 2 with caffeine? Something like that. But it's actually a narcotic. Robaxacet's actually a narcotic. It's one of the only narcotics in Canada that can be sold over the counter. But it's categorized as a narcotic. I remember that was really interesting. That's the only reason I know that, because we were talking about narcotics and how like you have to have a prescription. There's certain rules in Canada for narcotics. And they're like, but the only one that doesn't follow that is Robaxacet, because it's categorized as a narcotic because of the way it works. But it's technically caffeine with, I think it's acetaminophen. And the caffeine actually like accentuates the acetaminophen, making it more powerful. Explains why I like it. But yeah, the naproxen, that's one that I've taken when I've like screwed up my back, because my back, I've got some scarring tissue on my back from when I was a teenager, and there are days where I've canceled streams because I can't even get out of, like, off the couch because of how bad my back has been. And naproxen was one that helps relax your muscles. That's another one that if you can get over the counter, that's a really good one to take and be able to kind of relax your body for sleep. Knowing nothing about what you're talking about. It's okay, Catch Me Kid. Not a lot of people do, because I studied nursing, so I know this stuff. And Merle, who's on Twitch, was also in nursing, so she understands this stuff. We're just trying to help one of our friends kind of relax for the night. Yeah, naproxen is a painkiller. That's what it is. It's a painkiller, but it works by relaxing muscles. That's the main job that it has, but it's not like you can get a prescription because you can get a high dose, but you can get medications over the counter that have naproxen in them, and they'll help your muscles relax to sleep. I just can't remember which one it was that has naproxen in it. But yeah, you're not expected to really know that. Catch Me Kid. I learned it because I was in nursing school, and that's what I had to study, was what medications do, how they work, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's always good to know, because people can buy stuff over the counter and they don't really know how dangerous it is, like Tylenol. This is something that a lot of people don't know. Here's a little fun fact. In hospitals, they're going to see way more overdoses on Tylenol than any hardcore drug ever. Because people take Tylenol like it's no big deal, because you can just get it over the counter, and they'll take Tylenol for weeks and weeks and weeks on end. And the problem is that Tylenol doesn't just flush out of your system after a few hours, it builds up. And so you can get an overdose that can take weeks to get it, because you've been taking it every day, multiple times a day, to help with pain or whatever, and it builds up, and then all of a sudden you're in the hospital with an overdose. Because most people think overdose and they think, oh, I took like morphine or something, but like Tylenol is the most dangerous one, and it's the easiest one to get over the counter. So that's actually a fun fact. So it's always good to know kind of some basics, just to keep yourself safe. You don't want to end up in trouble, you know, because it can cause some pretty severe liver damage, and you don't want that. You don't want that at all. But yeah, oh, the Twitch app won't let you chat. Lame. He's gonna speak on your behalf. You're gonna end up declaring your love to somebody that you don't want to. Jesus's butt hair. You're gonna declare your love to Jesus's butt hair. For anybody who's watching and religious, I'm not talking about the real Jesus. There's a character in the game that we're playing that looks like Jesus, like stereotypical depiction of Jesus. So we called him Jesus, and I made a joke about a butt hair. It's a video that I have up. You can watch it. But yeah, the PS4 typing is a pain. Can you try have you tried like fully closing down the app and opening it again? Maybe. I don't know. What could happen? That's weird. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna be playing. I still haven't eaten. We're gonna be playing whatever that game's called, the Chant, and I'm really excited about it. Actually, put my voice meter up here too, just in case the audio doesn't work, and switch this just so I can load up the game, and then We should be able to start after a couple of minutes of me eating this. But yeah, see this proves that my camera is the issue. I was still kind of hopeful that it might be the cable making it worse, but no problems. The camera's not turning off at all. The other one was freaking out. Okay, Merle, go let your phone restart. Hopefully it works. You've had it for weeks. Don't tell me that's gonna be an issue that it's gonna happen. That's so stupid. You know, technology is so amazing sometimes, but it's so frustrating that sometimes the most basic thing can't work, and it could just drive you nuts. Like my phone. There's two issues that I've run into that really drive me crazy. Okay, the game is on. It's kind of loud. How do I turn it down again? Which one is down? I think it's... I don't know which one I'm supposed to turn down the game. Oh wait, that's just for me. I could just turn it down for me. You guys are okay, right? Because it's peaked. Oh, what the heck? It's not working? Why is the mixer not letting me turn down my volume? What's going on? Why can't I turn it down? Channel 4, chat mic. Oh, no. Okay, I can turn yours down, but now I can't turn mine down. What is up with this mess? Okay. The audio is coming into here to the broadcast stream. The broadcast stream is being sent to my headphones. Okay, can I turn down the... Is there a broadcast volume button? There is not a broadcast volume button. Weird. Oh, that's why I had the other thing turned on. Okay, we're good. That was me. I messed it up. That's what it is. It's got codeine. That's what it is. Right now that you just said that, Merle, Robaxis has codeine in it, if I recall. Codeine with caffeine, I think is what it is, mixed in. Something like that. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? I can't remember. You choked on your own water. That's not good. That's not good. Put your hands up. I don't know why they say that to kids, but like put your hands up when you start choking. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, so for some reason, when I'm uploading on Instagram, it'll sometimes bring up my keyboard, and then I can't remove my keyboard on my iPhone, but I can't click on Instagram to actually, like, you know, click it and it brings it down, and then I get stuck, and so I have to like shut down the whole app. Or sometimes I'll be on YouTube and I'll be watching a video, and then all of a sudden I'll get the little loading screen, like the little loading wheel thing that shows up. The video will be dark, like it's supposed to be loading, but the video's playing below it, and it plays through the whole video without a problem, but it gives me that loading screen for some reason. That drives me crazy. I freaking hate it. I freaking hate it. Technology sometimes, like the most basic thing just can't work, and it's Oh, that's what it is. Okay, that makes sense. I would never have thought of that. I know Alana used to always say it to Nora as soon as she would start choking, hands up, and I was like, what does that actually do? It's like, does that actually do something? I'm like, I don't remember learning about this in school, but that makes sense. That makes total sense. Man, there are some really smart people out there that come up with like the most dumb sounding idea for like the best reason. I would have never thought of that. I would have never thought of that. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, my toast is cold now. Gross. My coffee's cold now. Gross. Let me go warm this up 30 seconds. She'll definitely keep you wartime. She has a fever. She'll keep you extra warm. She has a friggin' fever. She's literally a human heater right now. Well, I mean, she'll give you other intrusive thoughts, Ty. That's the problem. I've told her secrets about me, and she'll tell them to you, and you're gonna have a lot of different intrusive thoughts. 40, holy crap, Merle. Be careful. I hated it because I've only done it a couple of times, but it helped. I hate it though. Have you tried taking, like, dipping your body in like a lukewarm bath, like a not a cold bath, but like fairly cool? Maybe to try to force your fever down a little bit. Mind you, there's new studies actually. This is off tangent. Sorry. Catch me, kid. Here's something new you can learn. There's new studies recently, actually, that are starting to say that allowing your body to have a fever and run through the fever is actually better for you, and that it's not as dangerous as once thought to, like, have a fever run for a bit. And so, like, some scientists are starting to suggest that maybe taking medication to stop a fever is actually worse for your body than it is to, like, just allow your body to have a fever to a certain point, obviously. You're using wet cloths? Okay. Yeah, just keep careful, because, like, much higher than 40 is where you start getting really dangerous. So you know, obviously, but I'm just concerned for you. Yeah, you let it do its thing. I'm pretty much the same way. Like, I'll take meds, but it's more for the symptoms, like the feelings. I don't really... mind you, I actually went years without having a fever. I had a fever for the first time, like, this last time that I was sick a couple months back. That was the first time I'd had a fever in years. I was actually kind of concerned because there are cases where somebody gets a severe infection and the infection damages part of the hippocampus. If it's the hippocampus, I think, that controls the fever. And with that damage, you have all the feelings of a fever, but you don't actually get a fever. And, like, there were days where I was, like, so sick and cold and shivering, and I felt horrible, which is normally how you feel when you get a pretty bad fever. And then I check myself and it's like 37 degrees, 36.4 degrees. I'm cold, but I feel like I'm feverish. I'd even, like, be under my blankets because I'm freezing, and it would feel hot under my blankets. Check my fever, 37.1. I'm like, why don't what's wrong with me? So I genuinely believed that there was a chance I had damage. And then suddenly I got a fever, and I was like, okay, then I guess I'm just a wimp. Don't take my doctoral advice. So Tylenol is the one you want for fevers. That's the one that's more powerful. Now, I don't know how accurate this is, but this is what we were told in school. The reason they ask you to interchange between Tylenol and Advil is more to do with the overdose issue. Because Advil can affect your stomach, Tylenol can affect your liver. And if you're switching between the two, you're not overdosing your system into, you know, getting too much into the liver or the stomach, while still getting some of the effect. Because Advil will give you fever control. It's just nowhere near as good as Tylenol is. But Tylenol can be overdosed really quickly. And so if you're going to be sick for a prolonged period, you interchange to kind of allow yourself a chance to flush it out of your system while you're still getting better. That's what we were told. I don't know if there's other reasons to it, but that's what we were told in nursing school. Because, like, Tylenol is, like, insanely dangerous. Like, people really don't know how dangerous it is. It's supposed to be something like you're only supposed to take it for a few days and then take multiple days off, and then take it for a few more days, then multiple days off. But most doctors don't say that to people. Most people, because they can just get it over the counter, they just keep taking it. And, like, as their pain gets worse, instead of seeing a doctor, they go, oh, I'll just double up what I'm taking. And then next thing they know, they're in the hospital with liver failure because they took way too much Tylenol. And then Advil makes your stomach bleed. So, like, they're both pretty dangerous. So you got to be real careful with those meds. Deacon, hello, how's it going? Welcome. I know I'm not on the game screen. I'm just trying to make sure the game is loaded before I start, just to make sure there's nothing wrong while I eat. By the way, how impressive was that I was able to stream with this the ROG Ally yesterday? Okay, it's on. It's working. I'm still floored that worked. I'm really proud of my video I made about it too. I ad-libbed that whole thing. I'm really impressed with how that stream turned out yesterday. That was a really cool experience. I wouldn't do that long term, but that was a really cool experience to do. That one question, everyone probably got it wrong, meaning they will curve the grade up. Common. That would be awesome, dude. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully they're not jerks, you know. Busy with work. I can relate. I can relate. But not crazy busy on my side. Just I know what it's like. I'm going to be playing the CHANT, which is a game that I got sent from Deep Silver. So this is not a sponsored stream, but it is a collaborative stream because they did send me the game, but they didn't say a single word. Like nothing. It was literally apply for the key and you'll get the key and then make content. So I wasn't asked to do a review or to stream or anything. It was just do something with this game. So I'm streaming it. So far, I'm really liking it. Couple of caveats. It's like PS3 graphics, like end of PS3, beginning of PS4 level graphics. Like they're pretty old fashioned, but it is an indie dev that did it. So it's a pass. The gameplay is really fun. Think of like Alan Wake style gameplay, but with like Life is Strange style feel to the game of like a story with decisions, and it's more about like experiencing the story versus the gameplay itself. But then it's got like Alan Wake style battle systems, which are kind of like weird battle systems. It's really sad that it was not advertised better because it's a pretty decent game. I already streamed it. I'm a few hours into it already. But it's fun. So that's what we're going to be playing. So far, backstory for anybody who wasn't here for when we first played it. We are some woman, I don't remember her name anymore, who has gone through some trauma. They've hinted towards our sister passed away. We don't really know why, but we blame ourselves. And we're at this place that is very, very obviously a cult. The leader of it, not the leader, but like the guy that's in charge that we see, because we haven't seen the leader yet. We've just seen videos of him, but the guy that we see that's in charge looks like Jesus. They all wear white clothing, you know, like white linens type of thing. It's out in the middle of nowhere. They all eat like vegan food. They're not allowed to wear shoes, and they have to chant and meditate. Like it's totally a cult. And the game starts off with us pregnant, seeming like we're about to be sacrificed, and then we run away, and then all of a sudden it flashes back, and this is where we are now at the beginning. We were doing one of the ritual chants, and somebody freaked out and ran away, and all of a sudden there's like demons everywhere, and we're being attacked. That's kind of where we are. We don't know what's happening. We just attacked one person, and then everybody turned on us, and they're like, "What did you do? She's fine. You attacked her for no reason." And now there's another guy who's like covered in blood and being all demonic. And I'm assuming the same thing's going to happen. We're going to fight him, and then they're going to be like, "What did you do? Why did you attack him for no reason?" It's like, it's a real mental, it's messing with your head. But it's pretty fun. I'm really, really, really enjoying it. It's interesting. Hey man, that's like a whole like decimal point. Like that's a pretty big number, man. That's like the difference between 100 and 1,000. So like, that's pretty good. I'll take it. I'll take it. But yeah, I'm just finishing my toast because I haven't had breakfast and I've been getting a little bit dizzy while I'm streaming. So I need to eat. My appetite has not been good lately. So I'm trying to eat. And like, it's been good, but it's been good like way late in the middle of the night. And usually the only thing you can get then is fast food. So I'm trying to eat while I'm up so that way I can eat something healthier. Cold toast is really gross because it just tastes like stale bread. Stale bread, gross. I'll start in just a second, folks. I promise. I promise. It's just I gotta get this down, or else I'm gonna be really dizzy in about an hour. Montana's for the 3rd time in a row. Holy crap! Selling my mom with Red Lobster. My brother was saying my mom has apparently been to Red Lobster 4 times this month. She tried to take me when she slept over, but it was too busy. My brother said the one time she even went by herself. Like she just went to Red Lobster. Now, people go into a restaurant on their own, no big deal. But it's just like even funnier because she lives 25 minutes away from the Red Lobster. So she did like a half an hour drive to go to Red Lobster. I don't understand her obsession. I love seafood, don't get me wrong. I'm from a country that, you know, has a lot of seafood on their menus. But like, damn, I wouldn't drive half an hour to go to the same restaurant multiple times in a month. If I had to drive a half an hour, I'm gonna go like once and then maybe go back in like 6 months. She just goes all the time. She loves her Red Lobster. I haven't had Red Lobster in years. Yeah, I know Milestones is expensive. I'm surprised Kelsey's is. I thought Kelsey's in Montana would be really, really comparable. I went to a pho place with my mom last week, and that was delicious, but it was expensive. Oh my god, I had no idea. Like, I had no idea it was going to be that expensive, but it's one of the best pho places I've been to pretty much ever. I've had a lot of pho. And they all have like very similar tastes, obviously, because it's the same dishes. But they all feel more like homemade food, which is definitely appealing. But this place felt more like a fancy restaurant type of food. Like it was the same dish, but there were slight differences in the way they made it. And it was so delicious, but damn, I paid for it. Damn, I paid for it. It was good food though. Oh, it was so good. I don't think I'll go back because it was so expensive, but it was good food. That's it. I feel like I'm gonna get sick if I keep eating. Not that I have much left anyway. Inuk, hello, how's it going? Welcome. $19 for a burger at Kelsey's. Holy crap. Not off topic, but like obviously I'm not suggesting it as a suggestion for you to try right now. Have you ever been to the Works? I don't know if they exist around here, or it's like a Hamilton specific thing, or if it's a big franchise. But if it is a franchise, have you ever been to the Works? The Works is so good. I haven't been there in years. The last time I went, is there one here too? I didn't know there was one here. I should go look for it. Because there's one in Hamilton. That's where I tried it. And I went the year before the pandemic for Christmas. Alana's sister wanted to meet up, so we went. Dontavis, hello. What is the title of the stream? There is a character, and actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna say it. Go to my channel. I'm gonna look it up right now so I can tell you exactly what video. Go to my channel, and if you come on camera, if you select this video right here, I know it's a little bit bright. You're gonna see Alana Pierce, the one right before that. Click that video and watch it. Then you'll understand why the channel, why the stream is named what it is. Then you'll understand. Real interesting. Oh, it's near the hill. Yeah, I never go anywhere near the hill because it's so busy. That's what happened with Red Lobster. It's just close enough to the hill. It was completely crammed when I got there. I was like, no, I'm not going there. But yeah, I went because Alana's sister wanted to meet up. She hadn't seen Alana in a few years. Alana was adopted. She has 3 biological sisters, and they all kind of went to different places as kids. And so her one sister is a disaster, but her other sister is one of those women that like really, really put her life together. Like she's got a husband who adores her. They've got kids. He's got like a phenomenal job. Apparently they're like completely loaded. And I don't know if she works. But she's very much one of those like Instagram moms, you know, like that. She doesn't run like a social media thing, but she's like that feel where like everything has to be like organic, and she takes all these different vitamins and supplements and like the essential oils. She's one of those moms, but she's super sweet. And so we went to the Works, and I decided to try the Reese's Pieces burger. For those who have never been to the works, especially Europeans who I'm guessing you don't have the works there, that is a hamburger with chocolate in it. It sounds so gross, and that's why I grabbed it, because I was like, it's probably delicious because it sounds so gross. Oh my god, it was so delicious. It was the messiest thing I ever ate, but it was so delicious because the salty of the burger with the sweet of the chocolate and peanut butter. Oh, so good. So good. I play a variety of stuff in Nook. I'm a variety streamer. Mostly I play horror stuff or survival games. So survival meaning things like The Forest, Subnautica, Minecraft, and then horror stuff. So we've been playing Resident Evil 8, and right now I'm playing CHANT, which is a horror game, kind of a psychological game, and then I kind of just play whatever I want. I'm kind of everywhere. I stream 5 days a week, but as you could probably tell because you've been here for a couple of minutes, my channel is a lot like a podcast. I talk, somebody will usually say something and then I'll just go off and talk about it for 20 minutes. The gameplay is kind of more of a background thing, but the horror that I play isn't so much because like I'm trying to make it moody and scary for everybody and we're all gonna get scared together. No, it turns into more of a comedy stream because it's me freaking out all the time and you all laughing at me. I also have donations that people can do to trigger like a loud scream in my ears, which then allows me to get scared and then everybody laughs at it. So it's more of a comedy thing, but they are horror games. So if you are really young, a lot of these tend to be violent. So I don't know if you would want to hang out here, but that's kind of what I do. That is hilarious, Handsome. Ty, because in Hamilton, there's like the infamous corner called King and James. And that's like the street corner for the ladies of the night. So right now you're like, we should go. I think it's on King and James. What are you trying to get me to do, Ty? You don't even have to take me there. Safe word is pineapple. Exactly. But yeah, Merle, it wasn't really that sweet. It was really interesting. It was like the sweet just made the salt stand out more. It was just like a hint of sweet. It's almost like when you eat something like, oh, no, but I know Europe has different styles. Like I didn't know this till recently, but like European Chinese food is different than like American Chinese food. But like here, a really popular dish is something like sweet and sour pork, where it's literally pork in like a sweet sauce, almost like a cherry sauce, very similar to that. But then everything else is salty, and that sweet just really helps the salt give a lot more flavor to the food, and the salt helps the sweet have a lot of flavor. That's what the burger did. And it wasn't like, you know, chocolate meat. Like it was like little chunks of chocolate within the big giant patty, and the burger was like this. Like it was a giant burger. So it was just like little spurts of sweet within the meal. But because burgers are greasy and the chocolate was melted, you would bite and like just chocolate would squirt everywhere, and it was pretty much like liquid. But it was really good. I really liked it, actually. To pay for the next exams. I'm down for it, man. I don't know if you're gonna make a lot of money though. I mean, I have been taking care of my skin, so like maybe I'm more attractive. I don't know. Okay, let's do this. I've been you know, talking too much. Bring own food to Canada. Yeah, that's one of those fancy burgers. Like it's not like a super classy like Chef Ramsay level fancy. But it's one of those like more expensive burger places. They make like custom burgers. They have like all types. Like they have a complete variety of burgers, but they're all weird flavors, like things that you wouldn't really expect to be in a burger. And that one I picked specifically because it said chocolate. And I was like, well, let's try it. Let's see if it's any good. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. At least 3 or 4 people. Yes. And if I charge like $5 a person, bro, that's like $20 right there. I've never been there. I've never heard of that place. That would be interesting. I wouldn't mind going to check a place like that, man. I'd be okay with checking a place like that, for sure. Coffee mayo. What's that, Hershey? And welcome, Hershey. What is coffee mayo? Please inform. I'm always interested in like weird foods, and I don't mean weird in like an offensive like, ew, that's weird. I mean weird as in like you wouldn't think of it as like an average thing to eat. I love strange foods. I love trying things that I've never ever tried. I'm all about eating foods that to me would be strange. I love it. Wait, who's saying this? Oh, it doesn't say it. Okay. Oh yeah, I gotta do the ASMR style voice. Okay, Ty, enjoy your Montana's burger. Miguel is going loco. Okay. Sir, I regret to inform you that the conditions at the mine have worsened. The working men are in a state of considerable agitation. Brawling has never been uncommon among lower classes, but this is beyond what I would consider normal. Last week alone, 3 miners died as a result of disagreements and another 6 from various accidents. If it continues at this rate, lack of labor may decrease our annual output as much as by 15%. I have spared no effort to get to the bottom of the current state of affairs, but so far I've found no evidence of union agitators or sabotage. Mr. Clarence has suggested that it may be connected to the crystal deposits that have recently been discovered, but I do not credit it. In my opinion, this is due to the weak moral character and inherent lack of discipline of the working classes. Wow, sounds like every billionaire right now. The best course of action is a firm hand. To that end, I have banished unmarried women and alcohol from the camp. And this is why we should eat all the billionaires. Because this is literally the way they converse with each other. Literally. As you will recall, my precious correspondence, I proposed that we hire additional armed guards. I urge you to consider this with utmost urgency. With an additional 20 stout and well-armed men of a suitable disposition, I am confident that the workers can be brought back into line and any lost productivity recovered. Yours truly, J.S. Campbell, Manager, Glory Island Mining Company. Mayo with coffee in it? The burger has fried egg and some jam. Everything except for the jam sounds like it could really work. So I'm gonna assume the jam would work. I just can't imagine what it would taste like, but it's really dark in this room. And the only reason I think the coffee would work is because I've seen steak that they cover in coffee and they cook it. And I've always wondered what that would taste like. I don't know if I would like it, but I've always wondered what that would taste like. I am cheap and I don't want to buy an expensive steak just to find out that it doesn't taste good. And I wouldn't want to get a cheap steak and do it and find out that I don't like it. And it turns out it's because I bought a cheap steak instead of a good steak. So I've never tried it, but I feel like that might be good. I don't know. I can't decide. Maybe that would be good. I don't know. The steak was good. Your boss bought it for you once. Oh man, I feel like it would be good. I mean, you got all like the best chefs in the world doing coffee on their steaks, so it's gotta be good. Like, I'm a big believer that sometimes the rich are pretentious just to say that they can do something you can't, and that they can understand something you don't. Do you know what I mean? Like when you see a fashion show, I had a girlfriend once who her sister was really into fashion. My girlfriend at the time was also very into fashion, but her sister was like super into fashion. Like she had studied to be a fashion designer. She had been trying a whole bunch of stuff to get that going. And we would watch like runway shows and stuff. And I just never understood. And this girlfriend and I would argue because I would mock the styles that you would see on the runway. Because like, and I still believe this, when you look at a runway model, no matter how beautiful those people look, they're wearing the most ridiculous clothing. When you're looking at something like Louis Vuitton and like Versace, like there's one where they were wearing garbage bags walking down the catwalk. Like they're wearing garbage bags. Nobody's gonna buy garbage bags to wear them walking down the street. It's just not a fashion statement that anybody cares about, except for the filthy rich who want to show that they understand something that us common folk don't, like this stupid letter that we just read. But I'm convinced that they do it because they want to give themselves a reason to be superior, of like, you just don't know. And I think part of that is still even seen on like YouTube and stuff on social media, where you get these people that like review products and they'll nitpick things that it's like 99.9% of the population is not going to notice that. So you like making it to be a huge deal is really pretentious and trying to like say you're better than everybody else. So I believe that there are some recipes out there that are along that idea where it's like they're doing it just to be able to say poor people can't, the poors can't have this, and if they did, the poors wouldn't understand. But enough chefs do the coffee ground thing that I really feel like it's not the poors thing. I genuinely think that there is something there that makes the meat better. Like there's probably some science or something that makes the coffee make the meat taste better. It's kind of like adding some salt to your cheap coffee. That makes the coffee taste better. But most people, when they think of salt in the coffee, they think of when they accidentally scoop in salt instead of sugar. But you put in a pinch of salt in your coffee and it'll taste so much better. So I feel like the coffee ground thing would be the same. I would definitely try it. I definitely would try it. Yeah, like Lady Gaga with the steaks, like she was trying to make a statement. She was trying to get people to talk about her. That makes sense. But when you get, like, there was another runway thing where like they were wearing basically a couch. Like they had the thing that looked like a couch and they walked down the catwalk with like a couch. Like their face was in the couch. It was so stupid. But it was one of these pretentious, like, yes, I'm the artist and the poors don't understand what this is actually meaning. It's a portrayal of my soul. And if you want to wear this, well, you've better have a big wallet because it's obviously made for a very special person. No, dude, you're just ripping people off and being pretentious. Like, that's all you're doing. It's kind of like that whole thing of, like, Mark Zuckerberg and all them wearing, like, really crappy-looking clothes, and it's really expensive because, it like, the super rich have brands that they don't have to show off, and they're secretly super rich brands. But the super rich brand is literally just doing what you would see at, like, Walmart. So that person is a genius because they've convinced a moron billionaire to give them millions of dollars for a shirt that you could get at Walmart for even cheaper. But now we're all learning about it, and it's almost that whole thing. The poors don't understand that whole idea. We gotta eat the rich. That's all I gotta say. Gotta eat the rich. The Kim Kardashian thing. I've never understood like the big appeal about Marilyn Monroe. I think she's absolutely beautiful. Don't get me wrong. And she had like a timeless sex appeal, but.
Another novel gloom creature. A crawling humanoid.
Oh, we saw this one already. But like, it's just so disrespectful. Whether or not I'm like a huge Marilyn Monroe fan, whether or not I think the dress was an important piece of history or not, like whatever. But like, it's just so disrespectful what she did. But the Kardashians overall are just garbage human beings. Allegedly, I don't want to get sued. Hershey, this game is called the Chant, and it's called the Chant because I can do this. No, wait, hold on. What button is it? I can do this. No, I can do this. What button is it? What button is it? How do I? There it is. I can do this. I can chant. No, it's called the Chant. Basically, we're this woman who has come to this. It's a cult. We've come to this cult. Because we are dealing with some trauma about losing our sister. They haven't told us what happened to our sister, but we lost our sister, and I guess we blame ourselves for it. And now the cult has gone crazy, and everybody is like losing their minds. Whoa!
That sound.
And there's monsters everywhere, and it's really scary. Hold on, I want to turn down my microphone in my ears because I can hear it, and I don't like hearing my microphone while I'm getting scared. Okay, that's a little bit better. Yeah. Whoa! 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 What is that? Oh God, get out of here. Oh! I don't know what the buttons are anymore. I died. Oh my God, I panicked. I was too busy looking for the naked people and I panicked. Oh. Wow. I panicked. Of a creepypasta. It's very, like, it's got that kind of creepypasta vibe. It's definitely got that. It's really, like, it messes with your brain a lot. It's really freaky. But it's fun. I'm having a lot of fun with this game. Okay. Oh, I don't have any more to... Okay. Can I build other, like, weapons? dash. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Deja, thank you so much for the rose. I really appreciate that. Thanks for the rose. Yeah, my first death. The first time I've died in this game. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Deja, thanks for the rose. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's try this again.
What was that sound?
Whoa. Okay, so when it goes green, I can't attack. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm dead. I'm dead. Oh. I almost died. That was so close. That was so close. Holy crap, that was intense. I don't remember what the buttons are, so it's really rough. GG! I was considering actually recording some memes while on stream. So that way I can like get your input while I was doing them. So that way, you know, we could start including memes on the channel, but then I got lazy and didn't do it.
It's all mine.
What's all yours, dude?
I'm begging you, just stop!
Leave me alone, you hag.
Sonny, don't do this!
Bro, if that's what a hag looks like, I am all into hags. I am all into hags if that's what they look like. Man, why did Ty have to bring up Montana's? Now I want a burger.
You're an imposter. Stop following me.
You're an imposter. A creepy pasta? Ah! Oh, he's a big one. Oh, he's a big boy. Oh, he's a real big boy. Wow, that was a big boy. Oh, that was a real big boy. Oh, that was scary. You did hear it here first. I'm so into hags. I'm totally good with that. Who am I kidding? I'm like into everything. Except for butt stuff. I'm not into butt stuff. I had a bad experience with a butt hair once. I'm so embarrassing sometimes. I'm so embarrassing. I have nothing to heal myself. This isn't good. Yeah, we read it already. I'm stressed out. I've been ignoring my phone because I'm getting those stupid Instagram messages. Ah, dude. Why you gotta tease me like that? Why you gotta tease me like that, man? Oh, I want chicken wings. Should I order pizza tonight? Maybe I should order pizza tonight. I think I might want to order pizza tonight. I don't know. It's a late night at work though. I don't want to have like the runs halfway through work because I ate pizza and wings and it didn't have a good effect on me, you know? Chicken tacos? Chicken tacos are good. Oh, I like chicken tacos. Costco sells chicken, like a chicken taco meal. If you take the chicken and you throw it into a pan with a little bit of water and just reheat it, it's so good. It's so good. Okay. Oh, I kind of want chicken tacos now, dude. I'm just hungry. Like, and not even like actually hungry. My stomach is not like, if I sat down to eat right now, my stomach would not want me to eat. It would just be like, yeah, don't do that. But like, yeah, everything sounds delicious right now. Everything does. All of it sounds delicious. You're welcome. But yeah, I haven't had a good appetite lately. My appetite's really gone down. Oh, I don't have anything. But I think my appetite's down just due to like sheer anxiety and like stress. But it's really weird because I don't feel anxious or stressed. I'm just having the effects of it. Which I'm really surprised about. Okay. Oh god, every time we enter a room, something bad happens. My dearest Maud, I hope all is well with you, and young Arthur and Millie, and with your husband too. I'm glad to read in your most recent letter that he has found work again. Having arrived at Glory Island mining, I have found the conditions unfavorable for organizing. It seems every man is obsessed with a type of crystal that is found locally. Any discussion rapidly devolves into each man for himself, and it's almost like some sort of gold fever. The owners have responded with the typical heavy-handed gestures. Under the guise of keeping order, the foremen and their goons have beaten up several workers to death and stolen their possessions. I expect this to galvanize into organization efforts, but for some confounding reason, each man thinks only of himself and those blasted crystals. Presently, I'm giving serious consideration to leaving once the curfew is lifted. Please give my love to A&M. Loving brother, Charlie. They rent portable chargers? Like portable chargers like for your phone? What kind of world are we in? Sushi, how you doing? Welcome. Oh, I tweaked my microphone a little bit. Does this sound better actually? I haven't even listened. Do I sound sexier now? Actually, I haven't even listened. Do I sound sexier now? It's not too bad. That's not too bad. It is so top capitalist. That's like... Okay, I want to go back to the video thing. I want to see what that video that we just found is a video of. That was a really good sentence. All right, Ty, if this is a private video of you, I apologize. But I found it in a shelf and I'm gonna put it on. So if you're like doing some Star Wars kid stuff, be prepared to be embarrassed.
My prismic research has unearthed new discoveries on the gloom creatures. I have discovered a new creature called the Strider. Its hooked tendrils lock onto its victim before it devours the mind. It does not linger, and instead prefers privacy while feeding. This research must be kept secret from society until the time is right. Fortunately, it does not leave much for me to dispose of.
Okay. Ty, I don't think you were here yesterday when I said it. It's me. I also like privacy when feeding. I don't think you were here yesterday when I was saying it. I don't know if you're still watching. But my mom is planning to go to Spain soon, like in the next couple of months. And my brother has asked me to take her because we're a little bit worried that she's going to get lost, like she did in the Toronto airport. And so my brother wants me to go with her, and I'm gonna end up going to Spain for like 4 or 5 days, maybe a week, kind of depends on what happens. And Merle and Wewin, I'm trying to convince them to take a train to meet me in like France or something so we can all hang out. So you need to like learn to contort your body so you can go in a luggage bag so you can come with us and we can all hang out in France. So start doing those stretches. I strike people with my tendrils. Is that what you call your butt hairs? Tendrils? That's what I'm gonna call my butt hairs from now on. They're my tendrils. Don't let them hatch. Canker toads, swollen with mature gloomworms that periodically lay a multitude of eggs within the giant canker toad's remaining organs, causing it to roar in agony. Dissections reveal only dormant eggs, however. What triggers this brood to hatch? Don't let them hatch. Oh, they're your nose hairs. Oh, I've got some of those nose hairs tendrils. And okay, let me get gross for you. I'm proving to all the women in the world that I am such a catch. I'm telling you. Let me tell you this story. I'm not going to show you, but let me tell you this story. Not story, but like, am I the only person that, like, as you get older, especially as a man, your nose hairs start to grow, so you gotta like trim, and same with your ear hairs. Luckily my ear hairs aren't there yet. I have like a couple, but they're not there yet. But you gotta like trim your nose hairs on a regular basis. But your nose hairs are nothing like your facial hair or your leg hair. I say leg hair because people who shave their legs and don't shave their face might know this. But like you can see it coming in, and like you can kind of estimate when you're going to be ready to shave. Like I just did like a trim today, and I know that in like 4 days I'll trim again, and in 4 days I'll trim again, and I see it slowly growing in. But like my nose hairs, I'll trim them and everything's cool. And then the next, like out of nowhere, I'm in the bathroom and all of a sudden there's just like this giant hair sticking out, and it's just like, hi. I'm like, how did you grow so long without me noticing? Like, it's not like it's starting to kind of poke through and it slowly grows and I just haven't paid attention. Like there's no nose hair. And then the next day it's just like an inch is sticking out of my nose. How do nose hairs do that? Why can't that happen with my head hair? Like that would be really cool for my head hair. I don't want my nose hair like that. You imagine when I had a mustache, it was a little bit easier because at least it hid the nose hairs. And I only ever knew because sometimes I'd like comb my beard down and I would feel it pull on my nose hair, so I knew it was a nose hair there. I'm so sexy. But like when I'm like this, I could be like talking to somebody and trying to be like super serious, you know? Or I've even recorded a video on TikTok before. I haven't posted it though, thankfully. But I'll record a video for TikTok, then I'll go to edit it, and there's just like this nose hair just sticking out, and I'm just like, oh man, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing, man. I mean, I just kind of embarrassed myself more by talking about it openly, but still, like, what is up with nose hairs? They should like take that magic and figure out how to fix baldness with it. Okay, it's locked. Alright, so we're back at what we had last time, where I'm not going to really know what to do, and we're going to end up wandering around for a bit, trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go.
You won't catch me, Jess!
I swear I thought that I was reading the closed captioning as he was saying it. I swear I thought he was going to say, you won't catch me, Jesus. Oh.
Sonny, you're bleeding. Stop this.
They all went mad, didn't they? Their chakras were filthy, that's why. Not like
Their chakras. Miguel, what's wrong with you? There are no chickens here, Miguel. Don't worry. You got nothing to be scared of, Miguel. Oh, no, don't go out. You got nothing to worry about, Miguel. Everything's okay. You're all right. The chickens are dead. I killed a bunch of them last night. Oh, that's gross. Oh, that's so gross sounding.
It's right here, I can smell it. It's right here, it has to be here.
Oh.
Why are you here, Jess?
Anger.
Cut it out, Sonny. This is...
I'll cut you out.
Whoa.
Fucking just stop running!
Don't come near me, Jess. You're possessed. You've lost control.
You've lost control, Miguel. You killed a bunny. That's not a chicken.
See through you, Jess. You're a failure. You're nothing.
Miguel, come back. The chickens will not hurt you, I promise. I promise, Miguel.
Can you just stop?
I'm not sharing with you, Jess. They're mine. It's my vengeance. Mine.
Where'd he go? Miguel. Where are you? I'm so lost. Where did Miguel go? I feel like it's not this way. Oh. There we go. So I went that way. He walked out of here. Oh, I gotta get there, right? But that's locked, isn't it? Oh no, it's not anymore. Okay. Just like pull this down and let that path open. Okay, here we go. Oh, he's so gonna come out of nowhere and attack me. No, Miguel, come back.
Don't follow me.
Trust me, Sonny. I don't want to.
Whoa! Oh. Dude, this game can be intense sometimes. Oh, not again.
Up there.
Oh, there's so many of them. Oh, there's so many of them. Come on. Come on, elevator, hurry up. I guess I could do this one. Ow. See, the battle system's really hard on this game. Like, it's not the best. Whoa! It's not super responsive. That's not the game's fault. It's very obvious it's a choice. It's not like they did it wrong. But it makes it way harder.
I don't want to.
Like, it makes it so much harder. I guess that'll be it. Where'd you go? Oh, I gotta push it, that's why.
Come on, come on, come on.
Where are you? There you are. Whoa! Oh, he punched me right in the face. Damn, dude. He's got no chill. He's got no chill. Alright, come on. Boom, right here. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oops. Are you coming or what? Okay, I'm kind of understanding that they change colors right before they attack. So that's good to know. Boom, okay. Yeah, he clearly didn't. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Ow. Oh. We're out of weapons. Oh god. Wait, hold on. How do I make more? How do I make more? There it is. I guess this. Oh, that was intense. Holy crap. I'm almost out of health again. Dang. Thank goodness we made it. Yes, GG. Whoa! Is it? Yeah, it's kind of running at a low frame rate. My capture card does. I need. Every stream, something new comes up that's like, I need a new this. I need a new that. I need a new everything. Okay, please run at a proper 60 frames now. Please. Should be smoother, right? That should be smoother. Yeah, it's a bit better.
Where the hell is he going?
Oh, bestiary unlocked. The Latcher uses its corrosive bile and sharp forelimbs to snip through tendons and incapacitate prey for transport deeper into its hive. Their bile is capable of dissolving away rock and reality. We must capture one to aid the creation of the portal. Individual dormant Latchers have also been seen in proto-hives made from biomass, leaving only when under threat. They're undergoing metamorphosis. I'm always there for whatever your needs are. Always. There's so much stuff I need to replace on my stream. Like, my cam link was acting up, but it's been okay. I plugged it back in and it's been okay. But my capture card, for some reason, only ever runs at like sub 30 frames a second until I reset it. Once I reset it, then it works. But for some reason, it just will not stick to 60 frames a second whenever I'm streaming. My camera, this one, is my stream camera, but the HDMI port on it is dead. So I'm using my TikTok camera right now to stream because this one keeps disconnecting randomly. And I even did a video on TikTok, and you can see in the one clip I showed that everything flashes green for a second because the port is no good. So I need that. I also need to replace my RGB back there because those strips, I can't turn them off. So I have to like unplug them anytime I want to use them. Or like I want to turn them off. They used to be able to like connect, and if you actually look, you can see it in this window, in this view. They used to connect to an app that you guys could change the colors on it. That doesn't work anymore. And if you can see, look how they're red there. Like everything's purple, but then they're red because one of the strips is broken. So like one of the 3 RGB, I think it's the blue, is broken. So all I can get is red when I'm in purple. And if I go just blue, that part of the lights don't turn on. So I need to replace those RGB strips. There was something else that I needed. Oh, my lights. My lights, I need to replace them. This light that I have overhead here, the wire that connects to the controller is now broken. So like if I move it, it turns off. And obviously the one light that I don't use, which you can't see because it's right there, but it's like right on a camera. That one is the one that I used to use that like would randomly change colors. And it's the one that I use for TikTok right now. But like last night, it shut off every 2 minutes. It was a nightmare to get my TikTok recorded because I'd be mid-sentence and it would just turn off. There's a lot of stuff I gotta replace. It's really annoying because it's so much money. The most important thing is gonna be the camera first. But like, why? Why did it all have to happen at once? And why did it have to happen when I'm not making money as a streamer? That's the most frustrating part. It had to happen when I'm not making money as a streamer. When I was making money, everything was working and I didn't have to buy anything. But now that I'm not making money, I gotta buy all this stuff. Turtsa, no worries. No worries, man. How you doing today? Gonna start with the hairdresser. I want to see how beautiful your hair looks once you're done. I mean, you always look beautiful, so that's kind of a cheat, but still, I would love to see. I'm getting new hair soon, though. I'm really excited. Lord Hair is sending me new hair. And it's their newest system, which is like a super ultra thin skin. This one is lace, and it's pretty good at hiding where it is in your hair, but it's still lace. You can still kind of see it. And they have thin skin, which is the very first one I ever had. But this one's like an ultra thin skin. Like it's to the point where like there are videos of guys like taking it off and you can see where it's invisible and all of a sudden it just appears as they pull it off. Whereas lace, you can see it if you get close enough. But that you can't see. Super, super delicate. But I'm really excited to try it out because I think it's going to be really cool to see something that thin and see how it looks. I do, Buckmane. I do.
I've always shared, but not this time. No way.
I do. It's a hair system provided by Lord Hair.
It's so close.
I've been working with them for about 8 months now.
Great.
And it's so cool. And like, honestly, the even this as the lace. Also, Buckmane, thank you for the fire. Even this with the lace is one of the more obvious looking ones. It still looks phenomenal, but it's one of the more obvious looking ones. But like, look, like my camera is expanded, right? But like, you don't really see the wig, right? Like I'm trying to look at the camera while I'm doing it, but like you don't see where like the line, that's hair. That's not even the wig. Sometimes people will see that and they'll be like, yeah, I can see the line. It's like, no, that's hair, man. That's just hair that's stuck to my forehead. But like you can't see it, right? And I think over here is kind of unstuck, so you can see it over here. If I, right there, can you see it there? There you go. Can you see it? So that's the lace there. But here, where it's not coming off, like you can see the hairline is super invisible, and this is one of the more obvious ones. The other one that I'm getting is going to be even less obvious, which is so wild. They all have benefits. I'm going to make a video, but just for like fun fact, each different hair system style has a benefit. So like the thin skin is nice because it looks like skin. These systems, the lace, they put the hair in and they tie a knot, and so you can kind of see the knot sometimes, and depending on the company you go with, you have to actually pay extra for them to bleach the knot so you don't see the knot. These ones come bleached already, but you can kind of see the knot, and like the hairs can fall out easier because it's just a knot holding it in. But the big benefit to this one is, one, it's not as delicate, so like when I take it off, I'm not scared that it's going to rip easily, and two, it's breathable because it's lace, so the air can just get through, and when I sweat it can evaporate, which is great. Thin skin doesn't breathe as much, but thin skin, the hair is actually sewn into the thin skin, so it's not just a little knot, it's actually just sewn in. So one, it's harder for the hair to fall out because it's sewn in, and two, you don't see the knot, so it looks more natural. Downside is thin skin is more delicate for ripping. Like when you're taking it off, you can rip it. I ripped my first one that way, but the hair lasts longer, so it's less delicate that way. And the other big downside is it's not breathable. So if you sweat a lot, it needs maintenance way more often because you trap the heat and the sweat in your head, and then it eats away at the glue. So that's the downside to thin skin. But it looks way more natural. And then this ultra thin skin is even more natural looking, but it's even more delicate. So I'm a little nervous, but I'm really excited to try it out. But like I think it looks pretty good. Like if you don't know about hair systems or aren't looking for somebody wearing a hair system, I don't think it's very obvious that I'm wearing one. But when you know about hair systems, you can pick out the obviousness of my hair system, because like my hairline is really straight, and a regular person's hairline is not straight. Men and women, their hairline is usually pretty like weird shaped, and it usually like fades in. Like you have little baby hairs, little thin hairs, and it goes thicker and thicker until like it goes into your natural hair. Whereas mine's just like there. So like if you're looking for it, you'll see it. But if you just met me on the street, I don't think most people would be able to tell. I really love it. I think it's awesome. It's been a life changer for me. I know my hairline will leave chat in a couple of years. Honestly, most men do have their hair recede no matter what. It's going to happen over time. It's just life. But if you are somebody who is going to eventually go bald, like if you are noticing now that you're starting to thin and you're probably going to like properly go bald, there's a lot of options. And I would definitely suggest, I know you're pretty young, but I would definitely suggest to do it earlier rather than later. Because most men don't want to talk about losing their hair and like be open about it if they have to wear a wig or whatever. But if you start early, then you don't never have to tell anybody that you wear it, because you will have it like your hair will always be thick. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not like me. I went from like having super thick hair, because this was literally how my hair looks right now is how it always was my whole life. I've always had hair this thick. So there are going to be people that I'm going to see that haven't seen me in years and never saw me go bald, that will have no idea, because this is what my hair was always like. But I went from having super thick hair to being completely bald, and then all of a sudden super thick hair again. So it was really obvious I did something. But if I would have known about hair systems, if they would have been as good as they are now back then, I would have started wearing one in like the time I was like 21, 22 years old. So that way I would have never had to worry about losing my hair. And the cool thing about hair systems is they can set them up to match whatever it is you need. So like some guys go bald in the front and slowly heads back. You can buy a patch that's just for the front. Some guys go bald in the back and eventually goes forward. That's what mine did. I could have bought like a small piece to just put on the back of my head to fill in that bald spot and then have my natural hair in the front and then like grow it as my baldness got worse. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm so happy I did it. And I'm an online person, so I'm open about it, but like it was life-changing. It was absolutely life-changing. Seriously. So you can get it applied professionally. I would definitely suggest if you ever do it, or you know somebody who wants to try and you suggest, you know, my videos to them because I have like a code for $20 off and stuff. To go somewhere professional first so they can teach you about it, because you have to figure out how to do it. Because the thing is, when you put on the system, you don't just like put it on. A lot of people, even I did, think that it's literally just like put it on your head and now you're no longer bald, but there's like a process to it. Buckmate, thank you for the fire. Appreciate that. But like you have to like shave your head. So I have like the horseshoe old man hairdo right now because I got to shave my head so it'll stick better. And then I put it on. When you get it brand new, you also have to like cut the extra lace off and stuff so it like blends better. And when you've never done it before, it's kind of hard because like shaving back here where you can't see is really tough because like one hand I'm holding the mirror, the other one with the razor and trying to like make sure the line is straight. But then you glue it on. Once you practice a couple of times, the first time I ever did it, it took me about 2 hours to get the hair system on, and I had to take it off multiple times to get it to sit properly. Now it takes me an hour from the moment I walk into the bathroom to the moment I walk out on the day that I do my maintenance. I only do it once every couple of weeks. But like it only takes me an hour to do everything. That's including the shower, cleaning off the hair system, putting on the new glue, shaving my head, doing the treatment on my head, all of it. 1 hour I can get it done. And now I'm to the point where I get my brand new hair system, I put it on, I get everything ready, and then I go and get my hair cut. Because this one I actually cut myself. I bought it pre-cut, but I didn't want the seam that they had given me. And so I cut this part on my own to kind of give myself the part within the wig rather than my natural hair versus the wig. But I go to a salon to get it cut properly just so it looks nice. But I install it myself. I do all the maintenance myself. I do all of it myself. It's just the haircut that I go and get. But it's pretty great. And one of the big benefits is because it doesn't grow, I cut it once, and as long as the system is still good, I just don't have to get my hair cut anymore. And then I just shave my natural hair to match it up every month or so. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And it can be expensive to get it all done professionally. Like I know the place I go to charges like $150 to install it. That's everything. They clean my head and all that. And then the haircut's like another $50. But if I do the install and the maintenance and everything on my own, then I just pay the $50 for the haircut and that's it. So it's pretty cool. And this one in particular, I didn't pay anything. Like they sent it to me already cut, so I just put it on and I was good to go. So it's pretty cool. It's stressful and there's a lot of work involved because like I have to put oils in it, I have to put conditioners in it, I have to clean it every couple of weeks to make sure that, you know, it doesn't smell bad and that it's taken care of. You can't beat it up. I got to sleep with like a bonnet. I have to have like a silk pillowcase just so it lasts longer. Because I want it to last, right? The thing is, there are people on TikTok that'll make videos about hair systems, and I'm talking like stylists, not just like an average Joe, who will say that it'll last a month or two before you have to replace it. And like I've had this one for a month and a half. The one before that I had for 2.5 months. My brother's had his for like 6 months. His needs replacement now, but he's rougher than I am. But like if you take care of it, I know a guy who has his for up to like 10 months without needing to replace it. So like it's extra work to take care of it, but then you're only buying it once a year, maybe twice a year. It's worth the extra effort, you know? I played COD Zombie mod today, which went live last night. I recorded a short clip for a couple of friends who used to play Minecraft's Bedrock previews on Render Dragon graphics. Oh, nice. How did that look, Turtsa? Odd question, but I've been curious, and I know you won't get offended, but what's the difference between a wig and a toupee? Just the same word. It's just the same word. You know how guys are, right? Toupee has a bad connotation to it because everybody thinks toupee, they think of like the old like rug you would wear on your head that you just like kind of put on, and then if the wind blew it falls off. That's what a lot of people think when they think toupee. So guys being guys, they can't be wearing a wig because that's weak. We wear a hair system. So that's what they call it. Technically, the difference between a hair system and a wig, there is a difference, but it's like really minimal. A wig is something that you would wear temporary for a very short amount of time. So like this, I'll show you. This is considered a wig because it is temporary. It's got like the straps to be able to like tighten it onto my head, and I'm expected to wear it for an hour or whatever, and I take it off and go about my day like normal. So it's meant to only be worn for like a really specific thing, or for the day, for a costume, things like how women wear a wig for the day and they take it off at the end of the day and then they, you know, put it back on the next day. That would be considered a wig because it's not permanent in any way. Whereas like a hair system / toupee is semi-permanent, so it's like glued in place, and so it doesn't move. And so I put it on and it's expected to just stay on. So I shower with it, I go out in the rain with it, I don't ever have to think about it, I can throw a hat on, whatever. It's as if I have my own hair. That's technically what the difference is. Whereas like with this, you're not going to shower with this thing on. If it's raining outside, you're going to protect this thing. If someone pulls on it, it's going to fall off. If somebody pulls on this, it's actually going to hurt because the glue is so well stuck that it hurts because it pulls out the little hairs in my head. That's technically the difference, but in reality, it's the exact same thing. It's a hair replacement. That's it, you know. I don't know, Buckmain. A lot of people think that he does. His hair is definitely weird, but it feels like to me it's not so much that he wears a wig, because it would look a hell of a lot better if he did. I think that he has gone thin, like really thin, like levels of like almost bald thin, and he's grown in the sides to do like the bad comb over to cover it, and then he dyes it, plus his fake orange skin just makes it look even worse. I don't think it's a wig. I think he's just very close to bald and has like a comb over that he does to try to cover it up with the little bit of hair he does have. But I don't think he's wearing a proper wig, because a proper wig looks a hell of a lot better than his hair does. I mean, Sean Connery wore a wig for most of his James Bond movies and he looked awesome. And the Walking Orange would, I mean, he's a cheap scumbag, but I feel like he is so self-centered and so fragile about his own ego that he would pay for a very good wig if he had to wear one. But I feel like he isn't bald enough to wear one, and I feel like he isn't aware of himself enough to realize he's at the point that he should be wearing one. But I don't think he wears one. I don't think he does. Yeah, no worries, Ginger. No worries. But yeah, like for a player for a musical, whereas like this is technically like my own hair. So when I go into an audition, this is what my hair looks like. So if they want me to wear a different hairstyle, they would have to give me a wig to wear over my wig. I mean, thankfully I've got a few that are different lengths, so I have a few options for hairdos. So I can be like, okay, if you want shorter hair, I can do something shorter. If you want a bit longer, the one I'm getting is going to be this, but I'm going to leave it long. But yeah, once it's in, and it stays on. Like I never ever feel concerned when I'm around that it's gonna like fall out of place or it's gonna be in a weird position. I also never worry about if somebody can see that I'm wearing a wig, because it's just so well blended that you don't see it. The only time I start to worry is when I'm like close to my maintenance time, because then the glue starts to unstick, and sometimes if I move the wrong way, I'll kind of like lift it. It also slowly shifts back as like the sweat softens the glue, and then the glue slowly lets go and it kind of goes backwards. So I have to like fix it every once in a while. Today I did an adjustment to make it look nice. Yeah, his ego is too big to accept that he probably needs a wig. That's exactly it, Ginger. Oh! Oh, did we pick up our first key? The yellow prism. This crystal pendant is carved of appetite. This crystal can be used to fuel your ambition and confidence. Releasing the negative energy stored inside the prism can damage those around you. Oh, scene, thank you. Crap, you guys missed it. You guys missed it, I'm sorry. Miguel was on the other side of this thing. And a monster ate him. Can I, like, go back? Can I go back? Can I go back, please? So you guys can see it? Ah, there it is. Here we go. Perfect. There. That's what you missed. There you go. I don't have health, though. I don't have anything. I'm in so much trouble right now. I don't want to go in there. Chase the Strider.
Sonny! What the fuck?
Dad, what the fuck is happening? Get this fucking thing off me!
No!
I don't have enough to even use this thing, man. You know what I gotta say, though? This is an indie game. And most indie games have below average voice acting. This voice acting is pretty decent for an indie game. Like, I really like it. I know, she said a naughty word. She said it. The toilet was calling you? Uh-oh. I hope it was just like natural body and not like you're now getting sick to your stomach because I've been talking about butt hairs. Buckmean, I was talking Canadian currency, by the way. I just saw that message. I was talking Canadian currency. But it also depends on where you go, right? Like there was, before I got with Lord Hare, there was a guy that I contacted who worked in Toronto that was promoting his own systems that he, I guess, worked with. And he was asking $1,500 per hair system, Canadian, $1,500 per hair system. And Lord Hare does like $200 hair systems. So like, it depends on where you go and who you get it from too. The pricing is going to be different. Oh no, I was just, I didn't actually talk about butt hairs lately, but I've been mentioning butt hairs a lot, so I thought maybe I made you sick. McGregor was trapped in a localized collapse. The maintenance has been shoddy and getting shoddier in spite of our complaints. We could have gotten him out with a quick controlled explosion. We had the dynamite, but someone had stolen all the fuses from the supplies. I went up to the top, but no one would give me a fuse. They just swore at me, and now McGregor is dead. I swear I'm gonna kill someone. I got a wick.
It looks like a fuse of some kind.
I wish there was a better way to heal. My health is so friggin' low. Okay, so I just figured out that the meditation is the same thing for those specialty attacks. Okay, I'm gonna need dynamite to shove in there. I'm gonna need my stick of dynamite to shove in that hole. Hey, look! Ginger acquired. I acquired you, Ginger. I acquired you. Does Ginger heal me? And Ginger even heals me. Dang, it's perfect.
What was that?
How much longer do you have on your work trip, man? Like, how much longer before you go home? Whoa! Whoa! Oh, I see it! Oh god! Oh god! Go, 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 go! What are you stopping for? What are you stopping for? Go, go, go! Get under! Oh, I'm clenching my butt. You go home on the 22nd? Oh, you're so close. You're so close. You got like 9 days. One more week. I'm genuinely upset that we're not like we're so close to each other, yet we're not going to be able to meet. I hope we do soon, though. Like, I hope we get an opportunity to hang out at some point.
I can feel it! My chakras! They're burning!
My chakras! My chakras! Help me, my chakras! I'm not mocking the religion, by the way. I just think it's so funny that these cult people always reference like Indian cultural things and somehow think that they are so much more in touch with their bodies, and then they just use it for like the dumbest reasons. Like, the dude's getting eaten by a monster and his response is, my chakras are burning. So it has nothing to do with the Indian religion or Indian culture or anything. It's just the fact that this idiot is getting eaten alive and that's his response. It's true, Merle. You're gonna have to do it. You're gonna have to take a world trip. I mean, you've been in school and like been putting in a lot of work. I think you deserve to take a trip around the world and meet all of us. So 9 more wake-ups. That's what I tell the kid. Oh, that's amazing, Ginger. That's so cool that you get to do that. That's so cool. Ginger's gonna pay for it. Look what he just said. His company pays for all of his flights and everything, but he collects points. So you ask him for the points to fly you around the world romantically. But yeah, Render Dragon brings ray tracing-ish lighting to shadows and non-RTX cards. Cool. I need to figure out how to enable ray tracing on Java Minecraft, because ray tracing looks so good on Minecraft. But yeah, hopefully if I do end up going to Spain with my mom, I'll have my passport. I'm gonna have to get it really soon. And then once I have my passport, next time you come and you're like right by the border, it has to be by Michigan though. Sometimes I think some people forget how big Canada is, and some people will be like, oh yeah, I'm by the border, and they're like in Washington, and it's just like, that's nowhere near me, I'm sorry. But if you're ever back in like the Detroit area, or you happen to be in like the Niagara part of the States, let me know, because I am more than willing to take a few hours drive down to like hang out with you, and just like, even if we just like hang out, grab a beer and something to eat, you know what I mean? It would be really chill to like hang out. A good old 1080. Yeah. But you know what? The 1080 is impressive that it's still kicking. My brother has a 1080, but his is dying. Just out of the use he's gotten. His is dying. But it's still impressive that it can do as much as it can at this point in time. You know? To use your points comes with some serious benefits. All right, Merle, you heard him. Time to show him your toes. I don't know how far Pennsylvania is from me. I feel like it's a bit of a distance. Let's see. It is a 4-hour drive from me. That's not too bad. It's a drive. It would have to be one of those things where like I drive down, spend the night, and then drive back out. It would have to be something like that, if that ever happened. From me to Detroit. Let's see. How about that? Yeah, 3 hours and 47 minutes to Detroit, 4 hours, 4:20 to Pennsylvania. So Detroit is a bit closer, but Pennsylvania is not that bad. Rochester wouldn't be far. Syracuse. I'm assuming Toledo and Cleveland are probably the same as Pennsylvania to me. Lansing is probably the same as Pennsylvania. But yeah, there's a few options. There's definitely a few options. Yeah, we could definitely even split the drive and meet in the middle. Yeah, that's true. You go 2 hours up, I go 2 hours down. We meet in the middle, have a beer, have some food, and then yeah, that wouldn't be too bad either. You haven't been wearing shoes for a few days. Your toes have been out and free. Just been giving it away without even telling us, Merle. It's like when you tell us that you're naked under all your clothes. Yeah, Pennsylvania has Centralia, I think. I avoid New York play. Is it just because New York is like super busy and like crazy, or is it because like the claims that are there are just a nightmare to deal with? Whoa, it's never done that glowing animation before. You gotta check out the Ford Museum. Nice, man. That's definitely one upside. Like, I've always thought about people who travel for work, like properly travel for work. And you know, obviously it's hard because you're away from your family and you don't get to like have that stability of a 9-to-5 type of job, of like a regular 9-to-5. But then I think about those things where like you're gonna get to explore parts of the States that most people are gonna know about, but they're never gonna be able to see for themselves, and you're just gonna be able to, and you get to do it on your job's dime, really. Like, yeah, you're gonna pay for the museums and stuff, but like a big part of not exploring the States is the trip. But you got that all covered, so you could just go to different museums, you can go to different like events or showcases or whatever. Like, just imagine if the timing ever works out that you happen to be flying to a location and it happens to be something like PAX is there or VidCon is there, and like you could just go for a day, right? Like things like that. That's a pretty cool benefit to have. Like, I wish I could travel more. I don't have the time because of the work that I do. If I take a day off, I lose a day of pay. But I really wish I could travel more, even just to visit like places in Canada. Okay, where am I going? $500 to Canada? That's amazing. That's a ridiculously cheap price, Merle. That's a really cheap price. Wow. Yeah, I know from Canada to El Salvador is about $800, or at least it was. I don't know what it is now. It might be lower because the airline industry is tanking. But I also know Canadian flights are stupid expensive. That's one thing Canadians get really mad about with our own government, where like Canada says that Canadians don't visit Canada enough, like we don't go through different provinces enough. But if I want to fly to BC, it's like $1,200. Or I can go to Europe for $500. Would I rather see a totally different country on the other side, not other side, but like on a very, very distant part of the world, or see my own country and pay double the price? Triple sometimes. I'd rather go to a European country and experience something totally new. Like, Canada's stupid. Not that Canada sucks, but Canada's stupid. You would think that it would be way cheaper for me to travel within my own country. €649 from Helsinki and back. Like that's so cheap. That's so cheap. That's like what, $1,000 Canadian, I think. Like that's stupid cheap. $1,000 and I could fly to Helsinki and back. And it would cost me $1,200 to go to British Columbia, which is in my own damn country. That's because of me and my brother. Canada has some interesting places to see, you know, like there's definitely some nice scenery. The falls is nice. Like it's like Canada's response to like Las Vegas, but not as open with like the drinking and stuff, but like it's got the same, but we got casinos and we got arcades and we got like magic shows and plays and stuff like that. But Canada's got some nice places, you know, but there's not a lot of them. That's the thing. Yeah, 943 Googled. It's not that my math is outstanding. I just know that like euros to Canadian dollars used to be close to like $2 or $3, but now it's closer to like $1.50. So all I did was like I took 600 and I was like, what's half of 650? Like it's like 3 something. I'm like, okay, so that's like that would bring me to 950. I'm like, okay, so like 1,000, but 950 would have been closer. But yeah. That was just because I do the basic math. Oh God. Oh, I don't have enough magic. Stop it! I'm gonna die. I'm so gonna die. This game is actually really difficult. It's kind of shocking how difficult it can be. Did you actually? I forgot about that. I think I remember you saying that. I forgot about that. Yeah, like that's I would love to hang out. You know, I would love to hang out. Your 500 was if you were to fly to Toronto tomorrow with no flight back. Okay, so is it cheaper if you plan ahead, or is it cheaper if you like do it at the last minute? It's cheaper if you plan ahead, isn't it? Or like last minute as in like today. Why can't I pick that up? Oh, do I have to build this thing? That's why. Yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool. I have yet to meet a lot of people from online. Like I met Texas. He's a creator. I met him at Fan Expo. He was really chill to hang out with. And then I met Ty. Who else have I met? I met a couple of YouTube streamers like CC Gaming, Snap Click Cat. I met Jesse, who's not a streamer, he was a viewer. And then there were a few other people there that I didn't know, but they were also streamers. I just had never heard of them before. But outside of that, I don't think I've really met anybody from Twitch or anything. Yeah, it would be so cool. I really want to meet some people. I really want to meet some people. I'm hoping I can get a chance to do events. My friend, Starry X Marie, she's a cosplayer, and I love her content. She's great. She's a super sweet person, and she just had her own booth at an event. She just posted today. She has her own booth at an event. Like, that's so cool. I would love to. I don't ever think I'll get to the point where like I'll have my own booth at something, but I would love to go to an event and be like, hey guys, I'm gonna be at this event. If you want to like pop in, if you're there, please feel free to come see me. And to have a big enough audience that there will be some people that'll pop in and just say hi. You know what I mean? That would be so cool. Because I'm a grown man. What are you having for lunch? What are you having for lunch? I looked up how much it would be if I were to go on my birthday. Not even 500 to go to Toronto and back with a stop of a lot of hours in the States. That's the worst part, is the stops, but the price isn't bad. Yeah, I'm hoping I get a chance to go to Spain. If we can't meet in Spain, like if it turns out that it's just not going to happen, if the prices are that low, maybe one day I can go back. You know, I could try saving up over the next year while I stream and everything and I'm working, so that I can afford to take the time off of work. Because it's not so much that I can't afford the flight, it's that I couldn't afford the time off work. So it'd be really cool if I could save up over the next year and then maybe go out there again, but this time head more close to where you are, so that way like I can meet you, I can meet Merle, maybe Nikki could be there, because like Germany isn't too far from Netherlands, right? So like maybe like I could meet a few of you all at once. Like that would be really cool. That would be really cool. Oh, that's really cool, Merle. That's really cool. A Lunchable, yes! There's a grocery store by here that sells adult Lunchables. It's everything in a Lunchable, but it's way bigger. Ah, so yummy. I love it. The queen of the nest of the Latchers. The Strider is created when a Latcher undergoes metamorphosis in a prototype hive. The Strider can quickly lay thousands of eggs, converting the surrounding area into a full hive, all the while, an ambushed predator, the Strider, feeds on its prey while returning to the core of the hive. The essence of mind and spirit it harvests along the way allows it to grow and mature nearby Latchers. Oh, I have an itchy nose. I feel like I have a nose hair. That's probably what it is. Yeah, that would be really cool, Merle. I haven't traveled a lot. really. Like I've traveled a lot like within the States and like I said through like Central America and stuff, but I haven't like gone anywhere totally different than where I'm from. So I always find it so intriguing when I hear that people have gone to like Indonesia or they've gone to like Thailand or like friggin' Australia. Like I wish. It's pretty cool, Ginger. It's like a big pack. I don't know what they actually call it. I don't think it's a charcuterie board. Or sorry, there's that one person on TikTok that gets mad. Charcuterie board. I don't think that's what it's called, but it's literally a Lunchable. Like it has the disc-shaped cheese, the disc-shaped meats, the little crackers, but like it's a lot. Like you could eat that as a full heavy meal, not even just like a snack. Like you could eat it and be completely satisfied as if you ate a full dinner. I've gotten it once. It was so good. I loved it. I'm pretty privileged with my travel experience, but it's good. You're more open to what the world is like. When you don't travel as much, it's a lot easier to forget how different the world can be. Like even with just me, like I've only been through the States and Central America, and I can see how different the world is. But a lot of people who never leave like their hometown have a hard time understanding how different the world is. So it makes you a better rounded person. I think it's a great thing. I was born in Florida and I'll die in Florida. How you doing, Random Moo? Hello, Dr. H. How are you? Usually with cheese fondue. Oh, that sounds yummy. That sounds yummy. You didn't realize it wasn't normal until like 13? Yeah, it's but it's such a good thing, you know. It's kind of like when you compare like small town living to city living. Small town living has its benefits, right? Like you get more of like the home cooked meal thing. You get more of like the hard work is like actual physical work. It's not necessarily a mental thing. An appreciation of where your food comes from, an appreciation for like the smaller things in life. I'll say the rest in a sec.
Oh, Sonny, what's happened to you?
Just behind you.
Uh-oh. Oh, that is not good. I've got no chanting stuff. I've got almost no health. I've got nothing. I'm in trouble. All my friends would go to France or maybe Austria in the winter, and I would go to like Indonesia. That's amazing, Merle. But yeah, so like small town living has its benefits, but then when you have like big city living, you get exposed to way more variety of people. So you have more of an understanding of like the differences people bring to the table and you're less likely to have misconceptions because you've seen it, right? Whereas like small town living, not necessarily something they experience. Like I dated a girl who was from a small town and her sister could not comprehend that there's a difference between somebody from El Salvador, which is who I am, and somebody from Mexico. The same way there's a difference like from somebody from the States and somebody from Canada, or somebody from Canada and somebody from England. We have similarities, right? There are ideals that are very similar, but there is a difference. She just couldn't understand it because she didn't know any Latino people, because she was from a town that was all white people. So like she had no experience, and so she had no comparison point for her that she couldn't understand. I remember the one conversation we had, she's like, let me ask you something. I'm like, yeah. She goes, so like, do you speak Mexican at home? And I was like, I speak Spanish. And she goes, okay, like I know you speak Spanish, but like, do you also speak Mexican at home? I was like, Mexican is Spanish. She goes, no, but like, I don't mean like somebody from Spain. I mean like, but do you speak like the language that people from Mexico speak? Like, are you like, do you speak Mexican? Like you're Mexican, right? And I was like, no, I'm from El Salvador. She goes, yeah, but like you guys are the same thing, right? Like, so you speak Mexican? Like she couldn't understand that the language is Spanish, not Mexican, and that like El Salvador is a totally different country than Mexico, and they're not even side by side. Like the States and Canada are at least side by side, but even we're different. But like there's a whole ass country between Mexico and us. And we're different. And she just couldn't comprehend that. And it wasn't her being like a vile person. It's just she never was exposed to it. So like there's the beauty to that. So this is all to go back to like world travel. You've been to places where you've seen the differences, because even seeing somebody from a different country in your own country, you don't get the full experience. Because like, even though I'm Latino, I've got a lot of Canadian in me. I've got a lot of Canadian beliefs and cultural views and stuff. Which is funny because like I'm kind of the in-between. If I go back home, I'm too Canadian to fit in. But here, I'm too Latino to fit in. So I'm like a weird limbo type of person. But you've gone to those countries, so you've got to experience that. So you have a much more well-rounded worldview, which I think is a really wonderful thing to have. I wish I could see more of the world. I would love to have more of an experience and to like see more people, you know? The Aboot accent, I do. Mine's not as strong as some other people. And you know what the funny thing is? That the whole world thinks Canadians say Aboot. And there is a portion of Canada that does say Aboot, 100%. But most Canadians say a boat. They don't say about. They say a boat. Which is really funny because that's the more common way. And that's just as funny as a boot. Because it's a boat. And it's so weird that nobody else hears it. But that's 100% what Canadians say is a boat. It's a boat time. And it's the same with sorry. Sorry. They have like a more of a woo sound. They're sorry. They don't really say sorry. I have a bit more of the Americanized accent because I watched a lot of American television, and I spoke pure Spanish at home. So the English that I was experiencing and learning at home was American television. So I have a bit more of the American accent, but obviously I went to school here. So like there are things that I definitely say that are Canadian. Like I say a lot. I've cut down a lot because I started streaming, but I know one of them for sure that I do is new. I say new, and the Americanized, more common way of saying it is new. And I don't say new, I say new. And that's more of like the British influence in the English that we use. Or like foyer instead of foyer. Or the game that everybody got mad at me when I made a video about it. Can't remember what the game is called. That one scary game. Visage. We have like some French influence here because Quebec, full French. So like for me, it makes more sense to say visage versus visage. I don't use visage. I've never used visage. And so many people got so mad at me when I made a video and I said visage. But that's more common here. Just like foyer is more common here than foyer. I think foyer sounds really ugly. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. And they started teaching you the American English vocabulary. Yeah. I got the basic white version. Yeah, it's something I had never noticed. It didn't stick out to me. But yeah, definitely something that Canadians do. Can I oh, I don't have anything to switch? Oh, wait, yes, I do. I can do... Oh, I don't have enough to do anything with it, though. How do I... I didn't mean to switch to this thing. Give me... which stick? Will that help? I don't have any magic or anything. There's no lock-on button, which is kind of weird. It makes the battle a little bit harder. Whoa. But while I was doing that, grab whatever I can.
More of them.
Whoa. It squeals like it's a person. That's so creepy. Okay, okay. Well, we got a bit of the oil stuff. Why can't I? How do? I don't know how to switch my. Oh, there it is. Duh.
This can't be it.
I was pushing the wrong button, so I wasn't using any of my backup stuff, and I should have been using it. Uh-oh. No, not again.
Sonny! It's going to be okay.
It's gonna be okay. He's just like stabbing you in the back. He's just trying to eat you. It's gonna be okay. It's almost done. It's almost done. Come on. Yes. Whew. Sorry, I wasn't reading chat. I was trying to concentrate. Okay, he lived. He lived. Oh man, his skin looks like mine. All those bumps on his face.
Thank you. I'm sorry. All I could see was my own pain.
What's with his ear? Oh! That's a really casual reaction to watching some guy get like spikes coming out of his chest.
Peace now, Sonny.
Holy crap. Okay, what did you guys say? I love when languages have audible differences from other countries. Yeah, me too. My stepdad lived a lot of his formidable years in London, so even being from redneck Oklahoma, I have a lot of British mannerisms and things. Yeah, exactly. Like drinking hot tea for breakfast. Oh, I love tea. I need to buy tea. I need to make a list of groceries I need because I always go to the store and I never remember what I need. I only have one weird language thing, and that's the fact that I say pillow instead of pillow. Oh, okay, yeah. My brother and sister, I used to make fun of them because they say crown instead of crayon. They say crown. So I can't tell the difference when they say crown and crown. I'm losing my Dutchness because I stopped eating bread with chocolate sprinkles for breakfast. Oh, that sounds yummy. I've never had one of those. That sounds yummy. I'm sure I have other idiosyncrasies for things that I say. One of the words that I really struggle to say is error. I have a really hard time saying error. Whenever I do a video, I try not to say error because I can't. It just sounds like error. I hate using it. Or horror, and I love doing survival horror. That's another one that I hate. But I definitely have idiosyncrasies. I mean, Spanish was the first language I learned. English is the language that I use, and it's actually what I think in. But I still have Spanish influences. There are certain words that I mispronounce because I still have an accent. It's just not a very strong accent. There are times that I watch my videos and I'm like, oh, I sound so much like an immigrant. Because I'll say things that I'm like, why did I say it that way? But at the time, I don't realize I'm saying it that way until I hear it back. But I'm also like really particular because I thought this was normal, but obviously it's the neurodivergent thing. That I used to get picked on for my accent, so I worked really hard not to say things wrong. So I practiced pronouncing things in the way that I heard it, so that way I wouldn't stand out. I didn't realize people didn't do that. But because of that, I'm very particular about the way words are used as well, even though I say them wrong sometimes. But I'm really particular about how words are used. I mentioned this before. There's a guy that I watch on YouTube who does videos. He'll do a lot of like surreal things or things where like mysteries and like people disappeared and whatever. And sometimes it's like supernatural, but most of the time it's just like mysteries of like people who disappeared or murders and stuff. And he did, he does a bunch of videos and I've been watching him. But one of the things that really bothers me about him, I've said this before, and it's a stupid thing to be bothered about, but it really bothers me, is he says whenever instead of when. And whenever, in my perspective, is totally different than when, and there's a difference in why you use each. Because if I say, whenever I go to the store, I always trip. Whenever signifies that I do it multiple times, and each time I do it, it happens. But if I say when, it's usually like a one-time deal. So when I was 6, because I was only 6 one time, I tripped and fell. But this guy says, whenever I was 6, how many times were you 6? Were you 6 more than once? Because you weren't. So it wasn't whenever you were 6, it was when you were 6. And he says whenever for every single time you're supposed to use when. So it drives me crazy. Because he'll literally say, whenever she was pregnant, she walked into that place and he would get mad at her. But she only had one child. So she was like, in the story, you're telling she was pregnant once. But you're saying whenever. It drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. But it's just a thing that bothers me. I know it doesn't bother anybody else. But it's because I fixated on language because people used to make fun of me because I was an immigrant, you know? The concept of thinking in a different language is super fascinating. Isn't that normal? Our sign language and sarcasm, so it's not for me. I want to learn sign. Yeah, sign language is something that's really, that would be really handy to have people learn. I speak in English and I think in English, but I can switch. This is something I don't experience this, but my mom experiences it, and apparently it's pretty common that you have to almost like switch your brain into a different language. Like if you're speaking in Dutch, you have to like stop, not you, but like people have to stop and go, okay, no more Dutch, time for English. And then they continue in English. Whereas I can literally bounce between the languages without having to think about it. My brain can just switch into Spanish. I don't think in Spanish though, I think in English. But when somebody's speaking to me in Spanish, I'm fully comprehending. I'm not translating the language as they're saying it. I'm just doing it. So like right now I can do it as we speak. Like, let me tell you about the time that, okay, I'll tell you about the ROG Ally and how I used it for streaming. And I'll jump between the languages without, I won't go forever, but I'll jump between the languages without having to think. So I was using the ROG Ally. Y alguien me mandó una cosa que puedo conectar with the ROG Ally, and that ROG Ally will then become a computer. Y como es una computadora, la puedo usar para poder hacer mi stream. And when I'm streaming, I use a big PC, but this would be super small. Y como es tan pequeño, me va a ahorrar bastante espacio. Y es bien chivo, no esperé que iba a hacer eso. And that's how quickly I can just switch between languages without having to stop and think about it. But my mom, on the other hand, if she's in her Spanish mindset and you talk to her, she'll respond in Spanish. Even if you don't speak Spanish, she has to like stop and go, sorry, and then say it in English. It's really weird. Like for my mentality, because I can just go back and forth because my brain, although I think in English, doesn't translate. I could just instantly go into Spanish. It's pretty cool. But I think in English. I think it's really weird that I think in English. Because Spanish was my first language, and I only ever spoke Spanish at home, but I think in English. And oddly attractive. You think in English too, Merle? Cool. See, that to me is really interesting, because English is not your, like, the language you're surrounded by 24 hours a day. Because I figure I think in English because that's what I'm surrounded by, right? Like I watch English TV. I went to school for like I went to school and it was in English. I spoke Spanish at home, but everything that I did was English. So my brain just naturally worked in English. Now I can think in Spanish. You know, there are times that I think in Spanish, but it's I have to make an effort to think in Spanish. I don't just naturally do it. but I can naturally translate without having any issues. Now, if you ask me to translate, like if you give me a phrase and I'm trying to give you the translation to it, it's harder for me, but it's because in my brain, I want to find the exact words to translate it instead of just the overall meaning of it. And I hate it because sometimes I'll watch one of those like documentaries, like a crime documentary, and the person will be speaking in Spanish, and they'll allow their voice to speak before they actually have the translator come in, and the translator skips half of what they said. The message is exactly the same, but I'm going, but you missed this part, even though it's nothing. Like, it'll literally be, the translator will say, my mom said that I was having a really bad day. But when you fully translate it, it's, I woke up in a bad mood and my mom and I argued, but she says it was because I was having a bad day. Well, saying you woke up in a bad mood and you argued doesn't really add anything to the story, so you don't need to say it. But inside I'm going, why didn't you say it? See, wish you could speak it, but it's so fast. There was this cool TikTok actually that I watched. Sorry, I'm on like a total tangent now. There was this cool TikTok that I watched that talked about specifically that, where a lot of people who speak English think that Spanish is very fast. And it's not that Spanish is fast, it's that Spanish uses a lot of shortcuts, where there are words, like there are specific words like there are in English, but we will shorten them to make them faster and easier to say, and it makes the whole language sound faster. So like for, I don't know if this counts for all the other Spanish countries, but like for El Salvador, there is a phrase that we use that is translated to like, isn't that right? Same as like, isn't that right? But you're still saying isn't as an isn't, that and right. You're still saying all the individual words. You just kind of get lazy in the pronunciation of the words, but you're still saying all three words. But in Spanish, we have de verdad que sí would be the same as isn't that right? But we don't say de verdad que sí, because those are separate words. De is one word, verdad is another word, and que, and then sí. We say in El Salvador, ba que sí. So de verdad turns into ba. And then que sí. We got rid of everything. I just ba que sí. And we know exactly what it means. And so like, that's where it sounds fast, because we've said a really long phrase and then shortened it into slang. But we don't actually speak at a faster speed. It's just we've shortened the words. And so it happens a lot in Spanish. It would be very similar to, instead of saying, isn't that right, to just saying, right. No, right. We totally shut off. Almost like y'all. You all gets reduced to y'all. That idea, but with full words, it happens. It's really, really wild. I didn't even consider that. This creator used many, many examples, and I was like, oh my God, every single one is right. Every single one is right. But that's what makes Spanish sound so fast, is that we use a lot of shortcuts. So when you were to look at what we're saying in English, there's a hell of a lot more words in English, but it's because we've shortened a bunch of words. And then if you look at it written down in Spanish, we would write it down properly. And so then it looks like way more words, and we've said it in a really, really quick way, but it's just because we completely cut corners. It's so, so weird. It's so weird. I can switch to Dutch for work and such, but if I just have to think of something myself, it'll be in English. That's so cool, bro. That's so cool. I think that's awesome. That's really awesome. Dutch is so not sexy. I can't think of what Dutch sounds like. I can't think of what Dutch sounds like. I actually wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a lot of those types of languages. Would those be considered Nordic languages? I don't know. But like, I can kind of tell the difference between like Russian and German, let's say. But it's similar enough that it would take me a second to actually hear a difference. I'm pretty sure that like hearing like Swedish and Dutch being spoken, I wouldn't be able to tell which is which. It's very similar to a lot of the Asian languages. I couldn't fully tell what all the different Asian languages are if they were being spoken in front of me. There are some very generic nuances that I can kind of hear. Like I know Vietnamese has a lot of like glottal sounds, like ok, 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 when they speak. That's not what they sound like, but that's the sound that you hear more often in their language. So that makes it a little bit easier for me to kind of pick up on like, oh, that's Vietnamese, but it could also be Cambodian, which has similar sounds as well. Whereas like I feel like Japanese has more like rolled R's, like that kind of like a darker sound with the rolled R, and like Chinese, Cantonese, like that region, I hear more. It's more of like an ah sound. It's more open. So like those are the only differences I can really hear. But if I were to just go from like hearing somebody speak Japanese and Vietnamese and like Mandarin, I couldn't tell you right away that I hear a big difference. It would take me a second. Vietnamese is probably the only one that really stands out to me, but I grew up with Vietnamese people, so it was something I heard a lot. But a lot of like the European Nordic style languages, can't tell the difference. Can't tell the difference. No idea. More Germanic than Nordic. Okay. But it's all the overlap. Yeah, that's it. It's the overlap, right? And if you don't hear it, then you're not... Like, if you're not exposed to it, you're not going to hear the difference. I don't hear the difference. I can't hear the difference. That's like there are parts of England that sound very Irish and parts of Ireland that can sound very British. Just like there are parts of Scotland that can also sound like certain parts of England. It's really like... And I can't tell the difference of which is which. Even between Irish and Scottish... I have to think actively of which is which. I can hear the difference between the two, but I have to think which one's Scottish and which one's Irish. And the only way I can tell the difference is Scottish has more of like the rolled R's. It's much harsher sounding, whereas Irish is more of like the softer sounds. It feels almost a lot airier. It's that was the word my teacher used. It was airier language. It sounds more almost... not lazy, but like I almost have to make my tongue numb to be able to sound more Irish, because that is what I feel in order to get the sound. Whereas like when it's Irish, I want to be harsh. Like I want to get that deeper sound. You know, I'm almost making exaggerated sounds to get it to sound that way. So like that's how I tell the difference. But I always have to take that pause of like, okay, am I referencing Irish or Scottish right now? Every time. Because I'm just not exposed to it enough, you know? So, your grandfather would have hit you, yeah, because it's an offense to confuse the two, right? I just know both of them speak English, and they're both hard to follow, depending on who you speak to. They're both hard to follow, but I can never remember which is which, right? And like it's that thing. Okay, so there's that whole like trope, right, for pretty much every race in the world that we all look the same, right? Like to white people, all Latinos look the same, all Asians look the same, all black people look the same, but to us, all white people look the same, and all white people are the same. Like it works in the other way too, because like for me, you'll catch me many times say, well, for Americans, and I'm literally referencing Canadians and Americans, because to us, when we speak, Americans are white people. And so like, that's just the reference to white people, not to the actual country. And so like, when I think Irish, British, Scottish, they're all just European white people. But there's like that part, and then there's like the German, Russian, Dutch. All those are another type of European white people, and it's like completely two very, very, very painting it with a big brush. But they're two separate groups plus the American white people. Like there's three specific types of white people that we think of when we speak, which is like really, really weird. But that's why I didn't grow up like knowing the difference, because to us that was just like British white people between Scotland, Ireland, and England. And then there's like the other white people in Europe, which are the ones that speak German and Swedish and all that stuff. Which even though they're not the same country or similar really, that's just the way they were categorized. And then there's American white people. So it's weird. It's kind of the same thing with the whole Mexican, right? Like everybody thinks I'm Mexican, even though I'm not. But like that's just the generic brush we get painted with. So I just never learned the difference. The worst thing that happened to me was friends saying, "You are now breathing manually." Oh, yeah. Yeah. Your mom just won't respond to you. Is it because there's like an inner hate between the different groups, or you assumed I was white with a tan? I've been told that. The funny thing is, this is the really weird thing, and then this is a very, very heavy TikTok thing. I've been told I'm white passing. My whole history proves that wrong, because I've never been allowed to forget I'm not white my whole life. So it really blows my mind when somebody says they see me and they see white, because I've never been allowed to forget that I'm not white. So it's so weird for me when I hear that. In my own culture, I get called white, but that's because I'm light-skinned for people from El Salvador. But when I tan, I get pretty dark. But like, it's always so weird when I get told that, because I'm like, can you go back and tell the last 30 years of my life, everybody that I saw that I pass off as white? Because nobody ever let me forget that. She hates the sound of the language. Weird. Now, where are you originally? Like, where were you born? Where did you grow up, I guess, bro? Okay, so we got rid of what's his face. I don't understand what this crystal stuff means.
So smart, but it won't save you.
He's dead, though. Why are we still hearing his voice? Ginger. Oh, Ginger. I will not touch. Ew, that sounds really gross when I do it in that voice. I will not touch Daddy's crystals. I will not touch Daddy's crystals. I will not. Okay, it's just saying it over and over again. But I want them. Is that what you guys think when you're thinking of me? You're not going to touch my crystals. You're not going to touch my crystals, but you really want them. I'm okay with those feelings. Okay. So. No! Whoa!
What did it do to me?
Oh, we're having a panic attack. Oh, panic attack. Go, 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 go. Weird. Oh, okay. And then did you spend most of your life in South Holland? He plugs in a Razer mouse. He's got to show everybody I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer for life, bro. He probably would have worn RGB headphones if they allowed headphones. Spent 19 years there. Oh, cool. Cool, cool, cool. I always find it interesting to think of like how countries are divided, because my perspective on the division of countries is totally skewed because of how big Canada is. Like, I think of provinces and I think of Canadian sizes, right? Like, the Ontario province is stupidly big. All of our provinces are stupidly big. So when I think of a smaller country that could fit within our province, it just doesn't click that you guys would have provinces, because to me, a province is so big, which is so cool. It's ignorant of me, but it's so cool to like really think how the world works and how things are divided and how little I actually know about it, you know? All work and no play makes Danny a dull boy. Do it. Use your RGB mouse. Do it. And Netherlands is tiny. Yeah, it's like El Salvador. El Salvador is really small, but we have, I think they call them districts, is what we have. But like, you can't tell when you go from one district to the other. It's, I've traveled quite a bit in El Salvador, you know, tried all the different areas, and you can't tell. Whereas like in Canada, you can really feel when you go from one province to the next. Get off me, man. No means no. Where's the, there it is. Ow. Because the way America's set up is stupid. Well, and like, obviously Americans and Canadians have a lot of crossover because we're so close to each other, because we, oh, one more hit, sorry. Because we're so close to each other and because we're so similar overall. You know, Canada and the States is pretty different, but they're similar enough that it's easy for Canadians to forget that there are certain things that are strictly Canadian, just like it's very easy for Americans to forget there are things that are not Canadian and that are very American, so when they come here they just don't understand. Like there was that one TikTok when the gas prices were up and they were like losing their minds about the price of gas here because they just couldn't comprehend that we don't do it in gallons, we do it in liters. And so like in the States it was like $3.50 a gallon or whatever the price was, and they came here and it was like $1.20 a liter, and they're like, look how cheap gas is here. But it's not, because when you actually translate it, it's more expensive than it is in the States. But it's funny how many Americans genuinely believe their state is like so big that nothing compares, but most of the states are smaller than like the provinces in Canada because Canada's just so gigantic. It's like it's so stupidly big. Mind you, nobody lives in most of it, but like it's still a gigantic province. So like when I hear somebody drive, in my mind as a Canadian, when I hear somebody driving from like one state to another for work or one state to another to visit a girlfriend, I just think to myself, I would never drive to Manitoba for a girlfriend because that's like a 10-hour drive. But that's not a 10-hour drive in the States. It could be like a 45-minute drive and it takes you like an hour and a half to go like through a whole state. Whereas like for me, I could drive, like Alana lives almost 5 hours away and I don't even get halfway through my province if I were to go there. And that's 5 hours of driving. It's weird how like the concept of size is so different. "12 provinces in your country, holy crap." Right? They took a pencil and they're like, okay, perfect line, right there. Okay, perfect. Yeah. I've never driven all the way through. I just know we're like closer to Manitoba because we're like in the middle basically. So at least we're like halfway there. But yeah, it's huge. Isn't it like a 10-day drive from here to BC? Something like that. It's like a 10-day drive, I think. 10 or 11. I've never driven that far, like that way, but that's what I remember hearing. "The thieves have been dealt with. I should be more precise. Some of the thieves have been dealt with. I started with the worst ones, but how can one thief be worse than another if they all steal? And they all steal, every single one of them. If they don't steal, they're planning to steal. But if I deal with every thief, how will I get more crystals? That's the conundrum. Perhaps I can establish some firm control of the masked strangers or the creatures that accompany them. The others will fear me sufficiently. I think I know a way. If it works, I'll be able to deal with everyone at the same time, one time, and be done with it. I'll stop the fighting and it will stop the thieving. If it works, I know it'll work. It has to." Is it 3? I thought it was 10. I thought it was a lot longer. It seems to cut time driving through America. I had a friend actually who had that discussion just recently, and they said that it doesn't seem to save too much time. It's just more interesting to look at. Like the time it saves is like less than an hour. But that would be 40 hours driving continuously, right? So if you think more maybe healthy, I guess, then it would be like 40 hours. If you were to drive even like 8 hours a day, that's 5 days of driving. And you're not really going to drive 8 hours straight. You're probably going to drive more like, even if you drive for 8 hours, you're probably going to do more like 3 hours, stop for a break, 3 hours, stop for a break, and like really split it up, which then turns that whole day way longer and you've traveled way less. So I'm assuming that's how you get 10 days. Who's driving 8 hours? So that's how I'm guessing that you get the 10 days. Because I had a friend that's what she did. And when she came back, we went for coffee, and she was telling me it took her 10 days to get out there. I know from here to El Salvador is much shorter when you look at the maps, but it's nowhere near that when you're actually driving. Of course, it's only showing me flights. Let's open maps. So from here to El Salvador, it is come on. Come on, loading screen, because I'm streaming. According to Google, it's 58 hours. So a bit longer than it takes to drive to BC. But a quick drive from here to El Salvador is about 8 days. But that's with like minimal stops. Like you're going all day long and you're only stopping to sleep like 5 or 6 hours and then you keep going. It's like 8 days. A very hard drive. On average, people take about 10 days to drive from here to El Salvador. On like a more, not leisurely drive, but one where like you're stopping sufficiently to rest and stuff, you're gonna take closer to like 12 days. The last time I drove to El Salvador, it was 21 days, but we had a bus that broke down twice and we got stuck for multiple days. Then we got to the Texas-Mexico border and they were shut down for the weekend, so we couldn't cross the border. Then we got to the Guatemala-El Salvador border and we couldn't cross again, so we got stuck again. So that made our trip way longer. But on average, we would take about 11 days to get from here to El Salvador. And it's 18 hours more. So I'm gonna assume it's like somewhere between 8 to 10 days to get to BC on like a fairly healthy driving speed. You know what I mean? Yeah, 5 or 6 states the exact same time. Exactly. Our provinces are so gigantic. Like it's an insane amount of space. And so to me, it's really weird when I hear Americans talk about like going to different provinces to work or states to work or to date people, or like when they just like pack up and leave to another state because they want to just have a change in life. And I'm just like, that's a really big move in Canada. Like changing states is a huge move. And like I have family members that have gone to like Alberta to work because they can do construction and get way more money, and then they just like live in a little hole with a bunch of other people to try to like get as much money. Almost like what the Mexican and Salvadoran immigrants do when they come here, where they like all rent out a tiny space and they all live together to send money back home. They do the same thing to go to like Edmonton, and they like all split a bedroom, or not a bedroom, but like a 1-bedroom apartment, and like 4 of them will live there, and they'll all work and then send their money back for like a year. But like it's a huge sacrifice because Canada's just so gigantic. The second you have your driver's license, you're gonna go visit Berlin. 7-hour drive. Yeah, I love road trips. Like now that my dad's gone, I'm never gonna drive to El Salvador again because Mexico is insanely dangerous, and I have a bit of a bitter spot for Mexico now because of what I experienced there. I know it's not the Mexican people, but Mexico has allowed what happened to me to happen, and it happens a lot, that I really, really do not have a kind perspective on Mexico. So I wouldn't want to drive down to El Salvador because half your journey is driving through Mexico. And I'm kind of bummed out because I loved the road trips with my dad, but my dad was the adventurous one. But yeah, I would love to be able to like travel places, and you know, I want to take a road trip across Canada. I would love to see all the different provinces, even just once. It has become increasingly clear to me that I can trust no one at the mine. I am certain beyond doubt that everyone is stealing from me. Every time a crystal is found, I see how the men look at it. They think I can't hear what they whisper, but I can. They covet the crystals. They are stealing the crystals. I know they are. It's beyond doubt. Oh, there's the thing I needed for the something or other. I can't even remember what I needed it for. I know I needed it somewhere though. I remember seeing it. Nice. Really? Oh, is this the friggin' fly person? The one that's like bzzz, bzzz, and then attacks you? It is, I can hear it. I can hear it. Where's the nearest meditation crystal? I need to refill my crystal. I need to realign my chakras. But yeah, I would love to travel some more. Canada is really beautiful. There's a lot of nothingness when you drive around Canada. You know, you can drive for hours and just see forest everywhere, but I think that's beautiful. I would love to drive around like that. It's just like Mexico. There are parts of Mexico that you drive through where you just don't see anything, but it's still really pretty. There are so many places to hike in Canada. So many places to hike in Canada. That is one thing I can say that we have head and shoulders over the States, which Americans I don't think realize we have over them. And not in like a negative, like they're too dumb to realize this. I just think they don't ever consider it. But like a lot of people in the States like hunting and camping. Like that's a really big thing. But we have so much more forest land than they do. We have so many more places to go hunting and fishing and all that, that you can just like go and be hundreds of miles away from all civilization and have forest everywhere you go and have some of the most beautiful scenery. I went camping at a place where I was about 4 hours up north from here. So I wasn't very far. And it was so beautiful. And I ended up camping. It was a public campground, but we ended up renting out a place that was, maybe I could just do it on my phone. We ended up renting out a place that was across the lake from where everybody was. So everybody was in their regular campground, you know, where they're all side by side and you put tents on the ground and they have like little porta potties and stuff. And then there was a lake and we were on the other side of the lake. The lake had a little island on it. And I was on one of the sites on the island and there was nobody else on the island. And it wasn't an island, it was like an inlet. But like we were alone. We could hear the people when we were really quiet. You could hear them like partying and stuff. But we were completely alone. Like if something came and took us into the woods, you would never see us again and nobody would have had any clue because we were just completely alone in the woods. And I wasn't that deep into like the wildlands in Canada, and Canada has a lot of wildlands. So like people who enjoy hunting and stuff, think Alaska, and that's a good chunk of Canada. And there's just so much of it out there. I had somebody that I dated who, her dad was a huge huntman, like a hunter. And a big thing that he did is every summer, him and his son would just pack up and go up north and spend 3 weeks out in the woods and just survive out in the wilderness. Like it was crazy. I'm trying to find the one set of pictures. But like, because I can't open up Facebook on my computer, but like if you, is the brightness too high? But like you can see it's just like wilderness and stuff. I did a hammock and everything, but like it's just out in the middle of nowhere. Stupid brightness, stop auto brightening, iPhone. But like it's all woodland. There's a giant lake on the other side is where all the campers were. So we were like out in the middle of nowhere, and I wasn't like, once you got in your car, it was like a 5-minute drive to like a huge highway. So it wasn't like we were out in the middle of nowhere that help couldn't be there right away. Like if something happened, they would have to airlift you, but like it wasn't that far. Like the next big city was like less than an hour away. So I wasn't in like super wilderness, and it was just like beautiful forest. There's so much beautiful scenery in Canada. So much beautiful scenery in Canada. So many cool places to check out. So many cool places to hike. And I think Americans don't realize that, and they're missing out. I had a friend who, for her husband's birthday, she paid to fly him up north to one of the territories, and they paid a guy who took them out to hunt a bear with bow and arrow. And then he would dress the bear and then send them the bear pelt and all the meat and everything. But they went out and they hunted a bear with a bow and arrow out in the middle of nowhere. Like, so cool. I would never want to do that. But it's still like people who enjoy hunting and like living rough. Canada has so much of that. Man. Is there another exit I can get to? Right there. There's nothing I can do. You're just gonna attack me. Wow, you climb ladders really slowly as monsters are coming after you.
Does this generate power? Maybe I can get it to work.
But yeah, like, I'm not big into hiking and stuff. I'm lazy. But oh, I need something for this. Do I have a gear? Did I find a gear? I don't think I did. Dang it. None of them. Darn it. But yeah, I'm not big into hiking and stuff. I'm lazy. I'm so lazy. But there's a lot of places to hike, and I've been to a few of them. There's a lot of really cool places to hike here. Even like within big cities, you could literally drive 5-10 minutes in some places and get to a really beautiful hiking area.
I don't think you ever cared about me, even though
What time is it? 7? Been live for 3 hours. I might cut it short today just because.
I can get out this way. Of course it needs power.
Yeah, where's the thing I'm missing? Where's the thing I'm missing? But yeah, I might cut it a little bit short today just because I do want to grab something because I don't have anything to eat. I got to go to the grocery store to at least get like some salad and maybe some something for the side. I don't know, something to eat. And some cereal because I don't have any more cereal. And I'm also just feeling tired. I don't know where to go. What the heck? Oh, weird, it's glitching. She can't get through. Look, she can't get through. It's glitching. Weird. I don't actually know if I'm supposed to be in here. I'm so confused where to go. I think that's where I finished the boss off and I came out this way, right? So I'm guessing this isn't the way. I got that song stuck in my head now. We've been talking about traveling and stuff. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. I don't know the words out of that, just the part I heard on American Dad. I can't not hear that song without thinking of American Dad and the Mamacita. If you haven't seen the episode, you have no idea what I'm referencing. I just sound like a madman. Which I kind of am, really. No, thank you. No, thank you. It's so creepy. The fly lady just wants a hug. All right, Merle, go for it. You're nice and warm. Your hug will be extra warm for her. That's perfect. Thank you for volunteering. I'm completely lost. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. I think out of everything, that's probably my only criticism about this game, that it's very, very hard to know where to go. Man, I'm so confused. This is where Miguel was running when he was all bloody and eating the bunnies. But I don't see anything to fix my thing that's broken on the windmill or whatever. I don't know, man. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't understand what it wants me to do. West Virginia.
It's missing a part.
Yeah, it's another cog, but I don't have one. I'm gonna have to find it, but I don't know where. I feel like I've been everywhere. I must not have been everywhere, but I feel like I have. So where would I get the last piece? I don't know. I'll have to figure it out eventually. I have no idea. I have no clue what it wants me to do. I don't know, but I'm still liking this game. It's still a pretty fun game. I think I'm gonna stop there today. It's a pretty short stream. It's only been 3 hours. You know, normally I go 4 or 5, but I think I'm gonna stop there just because it's 7 p.m. for me. So I still have a chance to go to the grocery store and grab a few things. Tomorrow I don't stream. I was planning to go to the grocery store tomorrow, but I don't really have anything to eat today. So I should probably go today. That way I have something to eat because I'm trying to be healthy. I'm trying. I don't know. So yesterday I made some chicken drumsticks and I have a couple left over and I have some rice that I made, but I have nothing else to eat with it. And the drumsticks and rice just isn't enough. So I need to go get at least some salad, like some lettuce. I want to get some mushrooms, some tomato to put in my lettuce. And that way I can have a salad with it. And that should be enough for now, because basically my lunchtime, really. And then I can eat one more time before I go to work. I'm probably going to start working around 2 o'clock today. 2 o'clock, I think. So I can at least eat right before then, but I need to have more food for that. And I definitely need to get some cereal. There were a couple of things that I was like, I need to get right away, but I can't remember what they are right now. But yeah, I think that's it. I really like how this camera makes my skin look. I hope I can get my skin to look this way one day. It's getting close. Not great, but it's still getting there. It's getting there. Yeah, so no stream tomorrow. I never stream on... Oh, the tea. I gotta get some tea. Yes, I gotta get some tea. Yes. No stream tomorrow. No streams on Wednesdays. So there won't be anything... Or on Thursdays, so there won't be anything tomorrow. Right? Tomorrow's Thursday? Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday, so no stream tomorrow. But I'll be back on Friday. And we're gonna finish the forest on Friday. I'm really excited about that. And that'll be nice. That'll be fun. I've been playing that for so long and I've never beaten it, so I'm looking forward to that. And then once we beat the forest, if we beat it really early into the stream, I'm gonna have to try to figure out something else to play. Maybe Sons of the Forest. If not Sons of the Forest, maybe I'll start Subnautica. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I've really liked the chant. Anybody who's watching, and if you come back and watch the VOD afterwards and you're interested in the chant, I do have a link down below on Twitch that you can get it. It's an affiliate link, but it allows them to know that watching this is what made you want to buy it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll be back on Friday. And then I might aim for Sunday instead of Saturday, because since I'm off Saturday, I can be up earlier on Sunday, so I can do a bit of an earlier stream. So, you know, for like Wewin and you, Merle, and everything, so it's a little bit easier. That way I'm rested, because the thing is, I don't work Saturday, but I'm still working Friday night, so I don't get home till about 4 in the morning. So I don't have the opportunity to get up early enough on Saturday. But then Saturday I've spent all day kind of just being lazy, so I can get up early on Sunday, and then that'll make it a little bit easier. I think we're finally gonna find Timmy. I think so. Turtsa said that, like, pointed out where I'm supposed to go, and says that he really thinks that as long as everything, you know, as long as I don't get stuck, I should be able to reach the end tomorrow. So that's the hope. That's the goal, is that I'll reach the end. And yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go run to the grocery store and try to grab a couple of things just so I have some food. And then maybe even then I don't have to go tomorrow. I could just be lazy tomorrow all day and work on some content instead of having to do chores and stuff. Merle, I hope you feel better. I really hope that fever goes down. I hate being feverish. I hope your fever goes down soon. And tea. I need to get tea. Okay. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate all the love and the support. You're all amazing. Did this erase? It erased yesterday, so if the goodbye screen isn't there, I apologize. It should be, but it might be gone. I'll have to just reinstall it. All right, everybody. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.